Doctors measure.
From the swamps of Louisiana, the Cajun Predator.
The day of the hairy freak, or the fat slob, is practically gone.
Let the party begin. I've got snacks.
Hey, look at us. We did it again. Another 7 days round the sun. Welcome to WCW Deep Cuts Live. My name is Tom Green. Look at that right there, right there. Point, 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 point. Tickle, tickle, tickle. Little tickle. Ooh, welcome to WCW Deep Cuts Live, where every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, we gather to watch the quote-unquote television classics for World Championship Wrestling. From the 1990s, I'd first start off by saying hello to the Erotic Eric Fontaine Fan Club, a.k.a. The Chat. I see Great Key 360, Silky, J81, Peter Crawford, Viva La Fran, Adam Yuri. I don't know when I call you Yearly, it's Yuri. Let's see, Will Scott's here, Refs is Wizards. Bam Dog 41, everyone's friend Jonathan Mayer's here. No, you stick it. Sean Drox, hello Sean Drox. Let's see, there are many other folks, and my chat thing just froze. So, Dr. Liam, hello Dr. Liam. Cap and Calamari, Big Clark for Dark, Peter Crawford. Hell yeah. Oh my goodness. So many folks here tonight. So here in a moment, we will be getting started. Whiskey Spachim, aka Whiskey Spaceman, Casual Villainy. So glad to have y'all. We're going to watch a whole weekend of NWA television from Friday evening to Sunday evening in about 2 hours, more or less. Matt P, thank you so much for upping that sub. 9 months. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Like I always say, I never beg for subs, but what I do when you subscribe is I put that energy in a little vial, a little syringe. I stick it in my butt cheek, and then I just get big and mean and jacked, and it's dope. So yeah. But what I was gonna say before we get started, we're gonna watch we're gonna start with Power Hour. Then we're gonna watch World Championship Wrestling on Saturday night, and we'll end the stream with main event. But before we get there, I do want to give a quick shout out, as many have been so kind to do. Look at this thing. It's beautiful. It's the best thing I own. It's a lovely WCW Deep Cuts sign. It's all lit up. It's great. Made by our own Brenticus Maximus. And you could be the owner of something very similar. Just go to brenttech.etsy.com. Use my name, not that Tom Green. You unfortunately cannot get that singlet I'm wearing in that image, but you can get all sorts of cool 3D printed stuff. You can get a sign like that. He's got like decks for handheld game systems. He's got like retro game art, all sorts of really cool 3D printed stuff. So go to brenttech.etsy.com. Be with those guys. Can't point. Which direction? I don't know. But we're over there. So go check out Brit's Etsy shop and get 10% off just because you're here. But as for right now, we are going to go straight into the action. Let's go.
The Alfred
Luger, you ain't gonna talk to me. I'm gonna talk to you.
As always, let me know how the audio is.
Luger, and what I'm gonna do to him.
Always a good sign when Stan Hansen is dripping chew to open the stream. I think I've told it on here before. I definitely have tweeted it before. Even though my brother was like an habitual chewer when I was a kid, I didn't really understand what was going on with Stan Hansen's mouth. And I always thought he was eating poop. Yes, this is a great intro song. NWA Power Hour. At this time it aired at 10 p.m. on Friday evenings. Here's one of the all-time greats, Budrow himself.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to TBS. Jim Ross.
He just said he has 0% body fat.
Tonight's running of the gauntlet. What a night it's going to be.
Buddy was good in this era for just looking into the camera during his entrance and saying something makes your brain melt.
The running of the gauntlet is Sunday night. It's Arn Anderson.
So yeah, I believe this is the first week that they're doing the running the gauntlet gimmick, where a wrestler gets drawn at random and he has to wrestle in all 3 weekend shows. And if he wins all 3 matches, he gets money. So Scott Steiner will be running the gauntlet later on. There's Terry Taylor with that robe that he passed down to Bobby Roode later on.
Certainly a piece of work as well. Cornette will be talking, or perhaps
Budrow with one knee pad, as Matt pointed out. I don't know if he's half-assed, and he's look at that, right in Terry's face. He's got the hair slicked back, mimicking Ric Flair from like 6 months earlier. My favorite Buddy Landel entrance from around this time, he walks out and looks into the camera. Somebody's like clapping right behind him. He points at that guy and he goes, "I'm a babyface." On 1990 NWA TV.
Right to the head of Terry Taylor.
Hey, TK Bomber. Yes, Steiner
We're also
math.
going to see the Nasty Boys in the program. The Freebirds take on Scott Armstrong and Barry Horowitz.
The cameraman in the corner, as always, WCW tradition, has to wear the brightest clothing possible, wearing bright red sweatpants.
And nails him with the elbow.
They're about the same height.
Brohavan, I don't think Flair really cared that Buddy was doing his thing.
Both have tremendous amount of ring stamina.
I just think everybody liked Buddy.
But I think Landel has
And they all knew he was gonna fuck up eventually, so there's not really a point to saying shit about Buddy, because Buddy was gonna fuck things up for Buddy. Yeah, he did the thing with the Freebirds around this time.
The new look means the new Nature Boy Buddy Landel. I think he's gonna win this match.
Always loved that purple banner in the background with the World Championship Wrestling on it. Always loved that font and that color scheme.
Here on TBS, nice counter move there by Terry Taylor.
Randy Anderson is reacting like he's never watched a wrestling match before, which is very amusing.
Great tomorrow night if we could have had Ric Flair against Scott Steiner.
We may have that.
I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think Steiner can get by Bobby Eaton.
You can say a lot of things about Buddy Landel. He is always entertaining.
I will have to agree.
He's always doing something that will at least make you smirk. You nailed it, Bam Dog. Buddy is like that uncle who got out of prison and was, quote, reformed, but you knew he'd be back in jail within 6 months for the same shit he was in there for before.
More on that in the program as Landel.
And that was always the case with Buddy. He would always disappear, come back, quote unquote, clean, and then disappear again.
Taylor had the trunk.
He's in my trunks. Not he's pulling my trunks. He's in my trunks.
And Landel is a world-class liar.
Imagine, like, Terry Taylor jump scare. Jumping out of his trunks.
I've seen the three of you guys running together.
My feelings are hurt now. I'm not talking for the rest of the show.
And I can hear people calling their friends saying, "Tune in, Paul Lee's not going to talk for the rest of the show."
All right, just for that, out of spite, I am. Just to spite you, for no other reason.
There's some guy, like, his girlfriend's wearing a neon green shirt, and he's pissing her off in the
Taylor cut
crowd.
him down. 1, 2.5 there, and Terry Taylor went for a pinning predicament. Sends Landel for the ride. Landel.
Outrunners. I love the Outrunners. They're great. I'm so happy. I'm so happy for them.
And Taylor's head bounced right off that.
And I hope it just continues on.
Landel has him up.
Up.
Taylor's got it blocked. Drops down into
There we go. Terry Taylor wins. You know it's 1990 because everyone in the crowd is wearing the same tank top. Look at that. Is Jerry Sags naked under there? Why is he tucking himself in so much?
That's right, you saps. Listen up. We're just going to add you
Saps.
2 more victims on the nasty list. You're going to get nasty size, boys.
Like, Knobs is, like, proud and shirtless. Sags is kind of holding himself here.
Introducing first from New York City, Jerry Sags, Brian Knobs, the Nasty Boy.
I love this entrance music. Just
The Scarsdale chapter of the Nasty Boys Fan Club, you know, they do their own music. It's not that phony music like that phony guy from
They do their own music?
I'm a cowboy.
Like, it just sounds like mouth noises with a drum beat. Poor Mike Rotunda. No wonder he's out of the company like 3-4 months after this. Great windbreaker though. Baby faces jumping, creating movement. Whoa! Nick Patrick almost fell down because he sucks. Yeah, the Nasties were out of the company about 6 weeks after this. 6-8 weeks. Midnight Fowler, thank you for the Prime sub. Tip of the cap. Gonna fill up that syringe a little more. Mike Rotunda. I wonder what would have happened if, like, instead of going to the WWF, he went to, like, I don't know, Japan around this time.
I would be remiss if I didn't say that they would score an upset victory here over Rotunda and Horner, that their stock would have to rise. Yes.
Yeah, Nick Patrick was around during every incarnation of WCW pretty much. So we always get to dunk on Nick Patrick. Also, Brian Knobs almost fell down running the ropes. Oh, that was sweet. That was sweet. I like that. Mike Rotunda was capable of doing exciting things. He just wouldn't do them.
Fans Jam is on Friday night, October the 5th. This is Friday night, September 21st.
Yeah, Tim Horner and Jim Cornette. I felt like Tim Horner was a very capable wrestler, but yes, very boring. Very shameless also.
And Luger and Sting, right?
Yes, that's right. It's going to be a great time. What the fans will call us.
Yeah, fuck Nick Patrick. He's already fucking things up.
Why not? It's not my call.
Look at Jerry Sags move. Wow.
Hi, upstairs.
Nice. Work rate Jerry Sags. Dr. Liam, thank you for the sub.
Hello, Mommy? I'm making a phone call. Don't bother me. Mommy, it's not tonight.
Yeah, the Nasty Boys are like in good Nasty Boy shape. Good Nasty Boy shape. If you're watching live on Twitch right now, there's a hype train. Chugga 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 choo.
Gosh, that's surprising. Nice move there.
Oh, jeez. He just punched Tim Horner right in the mouth. And Brian Knobs. Whoa, Tim Horner just did something cool. We are all just busting ass. What happened to Nick Patrick? He was there. And then, what happened? He's horrible. The worst referee. All of our homies hate Nick Patrick. Yes, B. Clark for dark.
That's what I like about these guys. They don't care about victory. They're nasty. They could have pinned Tim Horner.
Nick Patrick is god awful.
But say something like they're not intelligent.
I don't even understand the physics of how he didn't make that count. Matt P, we have Jim Ross calling the show with Paulie Dangerously.
Proving that they were the toughest team in wrestling and would like to start against the Steiner brothers. I find that a very admirable
Razor
goal.
Jim.
Not too healthy, but admirable.
Hey, let's be honest. You
Tip
got to
of the
admit this.
cap.
I've always said nice things about the Steiner brothers' athletic ability, right? Right. Okay.
Paul Heyman, who was 25 years old at this time. TK Bomber, thank you for gifting them subs. I just got the alert. Thank you. Dusty Beaver was the recipient of a gifted sub. Oh yeah, thank you, TK Bomber. Always appreciate it. And I'm never gonna beg, but you guys come through in the clutch. You're the best. Okay, that was a thing. I love Jerry Saggs'
He has no brain. He's nasty.
Cheap shot there on Captain Mike Rotunda.
Heyman Hustle. Is he pushing Heyman Hustle Booty Timp Tats or whatever the fuck that was? Double suplex on old Timmy Horner, old White Lightning. Even if it was not racist, which it probably wasn't, it still sounds racist to call somebody White Lightning. Makes them sound like they're the leader of a white supremacist group almost.
The Midnight Express to regain the U.S. Tag Team Championship from the Steiner brothers. Everybody says, oh,
like this match, other than Nick Patrick, is a blast.
The number one contender for the NWA United States Tag Team Championship should be the Nasty Boys. And if they
Yes, Jonathan, thank you so much. If you feel the need, have the greed, PayPal, Venmo and Cash App and all that. I do accept tips. Look out for me, not that Tom Green. White Lightning is also a kind of moonshine, yes. And he's a Tennessee boy, so that's likely where he got the name. Oh, that was fun! Like, the Nasty Boys have had better, like, gimmick matches? Like, brawls with weapons and shit? This might be one of the best Nasty Boys, like, working matches, you know? That was a blast. Shitty finish. Why the fuck couldn't they beat Mike Rotunda? Why is Tim Horner throwing chairs? Nasty matches are weird because they're never technically good except for this. But with the right opponent, they can be good.
And ladies and gentlemen, we are back here in New York City at the China Club. Last week, what an embarrassment.
We're at the China Club.
You embarrassed the NWA.
So you know that Paulie's hosting the show.
$4,800, and I got to pay it. And I'm waiting for my check, pal.
Oh, no, the check's in the mail. I told you that before. I promise.
I know all about the checks in the mail stuff. I know all about that stuff. We're standing here. Are we going to get in or not?
Oh, you want to get in
Great
right now?
jacket,
nice
the
to get in
Paulie's
right now.
Love the pink satin
I didn't know you wanted
jacket.
to go in now.
I wanted to go in now.
Okay, hey, Chris.
You can't believe very much that Paulie says. As you can see, he doesn't know everybody like he says he does. I
love that Paul convinced them to just do
we do have a
skits
great program for you,
at
though.
the
We're gonna have the
nightclubs that he
Louisville
hangs
Fun a
out
little
at,
later on. I
or
heard
like
what
a
he
national
said.
TV
No way,
show.
right? I heard him shaking his head, no way.
You know, that's your problem. You
Yeah,
see, you're from
these
Oklahoma.
bootleggers need to get on the Danger Zone satin jacket train.
No problem whatsoever. Let's go on inside.
WNN, the Wrestling News Network, which always amused me because they couldn't even be like CNN Wrestling or whatever. Even though they were owned by the same company, they had to come up with a parody logo. Hey, wait.
On the Wrestling News Network this week, we're going to consider the plight
I don't think
of the
Paulie ever
NWA World
revealed
Heavyweight
what
Champion
the
Sting
was for.
Sting is very definitely facing double jeopardy. First of all, he has the Black Scorpion hot on his trail, trying to gain the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. And then, at the Clash of Champions, Sid Vicious suddenly thrust himself upon the scene. There's no question about it. Sid Vicious wants a shot.
Gordon's got
at
a
Sting for
great
the title.
Tampa
Let's take a
tan
look
here.
at what happened at the Clash of Champions.
Wait a minute, Jim.
That'll eventually be a thing. One day I'll have thousands of dollars for the setup, and I can get like an actual radio mic, and I can put the WCW
That is the Black
on it.
Scorpion. That's the Black Scorpion.
Who in the heck was he wrestling?
Who was the man that... Look at Sting. He's stunned. Total astonishment by the champion of the world. Is that the Black
Somebody else
Scorpion?
bought a black mask
You think
too.
you got some problems with the Black Scorpion? I'm the man you've got problems with because I want that.
I want that.
Sorry for the interruption. champ.
Sid, I got enough on my mind as it is.
Yeah, Sid staying true to West Memphis, Arkansas was always great. It reminds me of a fun story. The short I did about Sid and his neighbor Seth. I had somebody from Memphis, Tennessee leave a bunch of very angry messages complaining that West Memphis, Arkansas is not real. Look, I'm from Memphis, and there's no West Memphis, Arkansas. I'm like, dude, it's real. It's just right across the border, buddy. I can look at a map and find it. Yeah, it's a real place. Like, but this guy is like, I know better than you. I'm an independent wrestler from Memphis, Tennessee.
And with Sid Vicious,
hey, cool.
Regarding Sting, the world heavyweight champion does put him in definitely double jeopardy. Still to come here on the Power Hour, we'll be seeing Scott Steiner as he attempts to run the gauntlet, and that should be quite a contest indeed.
West Memphis.
And now, let's take a look at the top tens, both in tag team competition.
Top tens. Ooh, we get
and
two
in
top
individual
lists.
competition.
Hell
the
yeah.
top tens in world championship wrestling.
We'll see this a few times today.
10 rankings in World Championship Wrestling. First of all, for tag teams, the number 10 team, the Nasty Boys. Number 9, Chip Horner and
Wow, it's the Nasty Boys with the number 10 team.
Ranking number 7,
And they got the title shot.
Southern Boys for number 6. The Freebirds ranked 5th. Number 4 ranking sees the Rock and Roll Express checked in.
Imagine having a tag division where you can rank 10 teams that are not the champions.
And the number 1 ranked team, the U.S. Tag Team Champions, the Steiners. The champions of the world, of course, Doom.
Wait, correction, Nasty Boys. Doom were the tag champs. So the Horsemen got the title shot. They got the U.S. tag title shot. Still shouldn't have been in that area.
Rank 6, Flying Ryan. Number 5 this week, Stan the Lariat Hansen. The World TV Champion Arn Anderson ranked 4th.
What a dire
Sid Vicious moved
top
up to
10.
number 2. The U.S. Champion Lex Luger ranked number 1. Of course, the World Heavyweight Champion Sting.
Sting doing YouTube face.
For World Championship Wrestling.
Sucked off by an Uber driver, Sting? Oh, we got... Oh, Lover's Quarrel coming up
Still
next.
to come, hopefully, we'll be able to go into the hottest nightclub in America, the China Club.
Why are you still kvetching? I told you. Just like in New York, everything takes time. There's a lot of papers to sign. This is big league TV here. This is national
I love the idea
TV.
that
You
Paulie's
can't
like, you have to
just film
sign,
everybody. People have to sign. Go in right now.
I have to sign all these papers to get into a
You
nightclub.
believe this? I've got some property for everybody else is going in. See, there people are going.
Look at those
go ahead,
guys.
Everybody else is going in.
They're perverts.
See, you're always calling. You're going to get us kicked out of here.
I'm sorry.
You're supposed to know all these people.
You paid the tab. Was
4,800.
your check good?
Yeah, I saw that guy
You
back
gave
there. It
him
looks
a
like
bad credit card, didn't
if
you?
only
No.
Anderson never drank.
Hey, kids, listen.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah,
we're
Paul
in
has a lot of
dilemma
hair.
here in the Big Apple.
All that hair would be gone very quickly.
We're gonna you can get us in a lot of trouble. Fans of Louisville Sluggers next on TBS.
I'm sorry.
Pathetic.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Sorry, I've been watching a lot of early ECW.
Jim Cornette with the Louisville Slugger, and you know,
No Mercy,
Stan the Lariat Hansen,
Submaster
the Batman
Supreme,
from
1
He's the
full
number
year
5
of subs.
contender for
Thank
the
you so
World Heavyweight
much.
title, and he wants to be number 1.
You're the best,
That's
No
why he
Mercy.
wants Lex Luger, who occupies that current position. Now, everybody saw at the Clash of Champions just exactly what happened between Stan Hansen and Lex Luger, but let's take another look at it.
Now that
Stan
is
Hansen attacked Lex Luger, then we're going to
all
hear
of
some
the
comments from the
colors.
Total Package himself, and then we're going to be
Gosh.
back. And my guest is going to be the bad man himself, Stan the Lariat Hansen.
And make your boy the total package.
Apparently whoever
Millions of viewers. Now, Stan
whoever
Hansen,
taped this
you
was
made
like,
the
I'm not
point
interested in
before
pay-per-view
that you wanted
clips.
a piece of my you know what? Well, you made your point.
A piece of my, you know, a piece of his wiener?
When I was down in that Met,
Stan Hansen wants his
down into
wiener?
that Met, and the life almost choked out of me. Well, baby, there's no fear in these eyes. There's just fire. You want a piece of this? You want
He's
a piece
so
of me?
wet.
Come and get it.
The match has been signed. Halloween Havoc, October 27th. Stan Hansen wants to be number
Also,
1.
I
We're
love
gonna
how
have the
most of the
US
other
title match
interview
against the Total
segments at the
Package
time
Lex
have,
Luger,
like,
right there in
neon
Chicago,
signs
Illinois.
and set
Wait a
pieces.
second, wait a second. First of all, let me
And the
tell
Louisville
everybody
Slugger here is
one
just
thing.
a green screen.
You know, let
And
me
Cornette
tell-
can't even get his own
I've
logo.
always been number 1. I hadn't been trying to get to number 1.
Hey,
I am
Brucey.
number 1.
Lex Luger, I got you because you were just in the way. Because you're a prima donna.
Like, do you blame little 3-4-year-old Tommy for thinking that this man was chewing poop?
Nice cars, all that stuff. I can't stand it, but I'm going to get you. Halloween, they call it. Halloween.
Also, for a dude who's like,
come Halloween,
gives off real cowboy vibes, that's not like a vacation spring break cowboy hat. Like, that's the kind of cowboy hat you wear when you go to, like, Cabo San Lucas.
Get what's rightfully mine, because I've always been number one. You ask anybody, you ask my wife, you ask anybody, I'm number one.
I need more money for this. Sting, I wouldn't be you for nothing, and neither would I be Lex Luger. We'll be back right after this.
Wow, great, Keith. Well, I'm glad you're spending today with us after that vacation. I hope you're doing well. I might tell Molly that it's cool. There we go. Trans rights Bobby Eaton.
And of course, ladies and gentlemen, Jim Cornette will introduce beautiful Bobby Eaton here, and what a matchup this should be. Eaton.
I love how they stopped paying for the rights to real music around this time. Like, they actually did pay for rights to shit, despite what like wrestling carnedom would normally have you believe. So they just found a guy with a synth and was like, hey, just do this with one note off. Oh, here we go. This is the first leg of the gauntlet.
This week's runner of the gauntlet and the three blockers. As we have told you throughout the hour, the three blockers drawn at random. Bobby Eaton Friday night, Ric Flair Saturday.
We're having Jim Ross explain the gauntlet.
Yeah, but he's already made his first mistake. He's going out to the ring all by himself. He's not with his older brother Rick. And Jim Cornette will be at ringside for beautiful Bobby Eaton.
I love this era because this is where all the glue
Bobby Eaton the
figures
instructions. If Bobby Eaton defeats Scott Steiner here, then Flair, Anderson, and Eaton will split the $15,000 equally. And ladies and gentlemen,
yeah, they did the gauntlet, I think, 2 or 3 weeks.
Legendary nature boy Ric Flair.
And then just dropped it. Yeah,
TBS.
So the gimmick is there's the runner of the gauntlet, and then there's the 3 blockers, one each night. And if you beat all 3 of them, you get, I think it's like $30,000. But if you lose even one of those matches, the blockers split the $30,000. I think that's the number. And yeah, Matt P, as I pointed out on Between the Sheets, Chris and Dixon, I talked about a few weeks ago. This is small Scott Steiner. And he is still like 3 times the size of a normal human being.
The Big Ten champion and All-American at the University of Michigan. Of course, Ric Flair comes from
yes, Bruzzy, that is Paul Heyman on commentary.
From the great state of Minnesota originally. Paul E. Dangerously made a comment, Rick, that he was surprised that Scott Steiner didn't have his big brother at ringside.
This is the closest Scott ever got to actually looking like he weighed 235, like Pro Wrestling Illustrated always said. Like, there's no way he was 235 here. This is probably the closest to the most correct that number ever was. Like, he was still 235 in PWI as Big Papa Pump. Oh, jeez.
And Bobby Eaton outside. Rick, this kid from Michigan.
Yeah, great mullets in both of them.
With great agility.
Cornette at ringside. Like, how... The dry cleaning on a jacket like that must be insane.
In our sport, as well as any other major sport. The guy's got a tremendous physique. As you mentioned,
why does it sound like Ric Flair's recording his commentary like in a rainstorm?
If Bobby defeats Scott Steiner right here, you're going to make $5,000 for watching this match because you and Arn Anderson are in line to split the $15,000 evenly with Bobby Eaton.
We're aware of that. We've got a party lined up already.
See what you're seeing.
Yeah, that has to be.
Scott Steiner is taking it to Bobby.
Like, there's been a couple of wrestlers. Like, Randy Orton was the most famous recently. Like, I think he got announced as like 280, and he's like, nope, I'm 300. Did Jim Cornette play tennis at all? I don't think in real life, no.
The difference is
Hey,
that
Troy Bang.
is that Scott Steiner now has to go
Flair
against two
sounds like Lee
Horsemen this
Marshall.
weekend. And
Great.
the thing about the Horsemen has always been in check. I'm sure you'll agree with me on this.
I'm sure some of you have
can go
seen
at any pace. You can take it
Scott's
at your
kid
own
is
pace
playing
or at
college
the Steiner's
football
pace.
now.
Well, that's exactly
And he's taking
When
some
the
press
Horsemen,
photos wearing the
when you're Ric
chainmail.
Flair, you walk at the pace you elect to walk at or wrestle at.
It does kind of sound like they were pre-recorded Flair stuff. Like he doesn't sound like he's in the room with it.
Goes downstairs to the right hand, Bobby, as tough as they come.
Either that or he's right up on the microphone like this. Like all wrestlers seem to like to do when they cut promos.
Here's that great power right here.
Good on Bobby there. I don't know if you guys noticed that Scott was about to fall on his ass. Oh, shit. And Bobby still did that very safely. Like, Bobby's the best.
Does a man recover from a blow like that? It's going to be a tremendous credit to Bobby.
Again, another camera op at ringside is wearing a pink sweater and white gym shorts. Because he really needed people to know that he was at ringside. And the guy in the corner now is wearing pink shorts.
I'll know when I step through the ropes that I'm looking at a 25-year-old or 26-year-old man that has been successful in every kind of business. In his mind.
Wait, is Ric Flair bragging that he knows the difference between a 25 and a 60-year-old man? Like, good job, buddy.
You see, something else everybody is forgetting to mention here is that Scott Steiner
Riffs is Wizards, yes. This is an early Pokemon evolution for Scott Steiner.
Oh.
Jim Cornette has interjected himself in this match, and now we may be seeing the
97 Scott Steiner, that's the biggest he ever was. There's a big Papa Pump, he was cut, and was scary because he had like no body fat. 97 Scott Steiner looks like a character from WCW NWA Revenge.
I've been on the receiving end of that a few times.
Been on the receiving end a few times.
There he is. I told you.
Here comes Rick Steiner down the ringside.
Here comes Rick Steiner. Might have been late saying some slurs in the locker room.
That it's the Horsemen that interfere, the Horsemen that double team, triple team, quadruple team. But the moment little brother Scott gets in the slightest bit of
Beautiful
trouble,
punch. Love Bobby Eaton's punches. Oh! A little boop on the ring post. Oh, jeez.
Wow.
It's a pretty apt comparison, 97 Scott Steiner. Look bigger than Conan the Barbarian.
Everybody wants to say.
Yes, Brucey. Rick Steiner heard that Bobby Eaton wore that robe out, and he's like, motherfucker!
This is a critical match. Only the garment.
Stan Lane wearing the ugliest top I've ever seen. What on earth even is that color? It's like baby shit green.
Even if he's lucky enough to get by, beautiful Bobby. What kind of shape is he
Bobby was a babyface in like 91.
Champion in the history of this sport.
Most of the year.
My man. I gotta come out here more often, Jim.
Rick, I know you got a very busy schedule.
And I'm out of here right now.
Yeah, oh yeah, the boss man slam backbreaker thing that Bobby did.
All right.
You can't count. His shoulders are like 3 feet off the ground, buddy.
And keep that in mind, that if Scott Steiner does get by Bobby Eaton, it's like Mike Tyson who got 40.
Like for a guy that had style, dressed well, and was like the human sex machine. That is hideous what Stan Lane has been. Yes, that's 91 was when Bobby won the World TV title. That's a good point, Matt. And yeah, guaranteed, Stan Lane got laid wearing that.
Thunderous clothesline there by beautiful Bobby Eaton. Scott Steiner is in a great deal of trouble here on the Power Hour.
Sting had to spend 5 months in the gym, 5 months on the mat to get ready.
Yeah, Midnights were baby faces, late 88, and then part of 89 until they, Tiger Driver, until they turned on the dynamic dudes. And even then, the fans loved them.
For Scott Steiner, here on the Power Hour, the first match of the Gauntlet. Both these men, if they were in their natural element, would make tags here.
In their natural element? That makes it sound like
Scott Steiner now sends Bobby Eaton for the
Like, in order to live, they have to be in a tag team corner. Hey, Green Boy. Yes, Scott Steiner loved doing the Tiger Driver.
Now what's he hitting stand for?
Hey, his shirt out comes one. I think they were heels. It was like a heel thing against the Horsemen.
Too early. Bob Eaton nailed it. This may be all. 1, 2. But Steiner kicks out.
1, 2.
Scotty Steiner kicked out. A near fall. Cornette's up on the apron. And Scott Steiner thrown over the top rope. But he's
Yeah, this is small Scott Steiner. This is also the most athletic he ever was. Like, he flowed. Look at that. Beautiful. What did Scott Steiner do to himself in 1996, 1997? Everything. Yeah, that was a really fun match. That was a blast. Hell of a wrestling show. Between that and the Nasties match.
It's the Frankensteiner, but the question remains, if the heavyweight champion of the world, Sting, needed 5 months to prepare for one match with Ric Flair, how can Scott Steiner
Yeah, I think if this Scott Steiner had Big Papa Pump's personality, which, I mean, he kind of did, they just wouldn't let him cut promos like that. But, like, if you listen to him talking shit during matches, he's Big Papa Pump from the Get Out. He just didn't really emphasize it. Wrestling wrap-up.
Paulie dangerously here.
Yeah, you're going to get some big shot on the phone, right? You can't even get this in there. The hottest club in America. Look at all these other people are going in. It's like they've been going in all night. I'm embarrassed. We're on national television.
I'm embarrassed too.
I'm embarrassed.
Get us in the place?
I can't go in there.
Buy this place, right?
I could buy this place.
Do cocaine?
I have the cash on me right now. All right, you want to go in?
Yes, I want.
We're going in.
Trying to think if it was Dana Carvey. Can't do cocaine with Dana Carvey.
I'm sorry. We were going to go in and see all the great celebrities.
How the hell did he have a signal?
Hey, Mr. Ross, you know you're always welcome. Paulie, no way, man. No way.
Oh, hey, it's Big AJ.
In that case, I'm going to go in and have a good time. I'll talk to you fans.
Bring in the boom.
605. Here, you close this show. Maybe you can do that right.
Huh?
Jim Ross will get his freak on.
That's not fair. All right, we'll be back tomorrow. They're just setting up my orange juice. So we'll be back tomorrow at 6.
All right, we will not be back tomorrow. We'll be back in right now. All right, so we're watching the Saturday night show now. Jumping right into it. Look, it's almost like we just saw these guys. Bobby Eaton went backstage, threw a cup of water on his head, and hey, we're good. Look at that robe. Trans rights. Those things are beautiful. Like, seriously, it looked like Bobby Eaton just walked backstage, threw a bottle of water on his head, and was like, hey, we're good. The Express. Not straight edge. Oh, they are. Stan Lane is not straight edge. Yeah, Stan Lane let somebody have that sweater. Oh, here we go. The canceled Express. I'm gonna do this when they walk out, so I don't have to see that flag. Yeah, this is the era where people are like, WCW is a little too southern. It's the canceled Express. I'm surprised the new Southern Boys are not like a team in the NWA now.
They are ranked just a tad higher in the rankings than are the Southern Boys.
Last night on the Power Hour, we saw the
I have a feeling that you could, in 2024, teams coming to the ring dressed like these four were would be a hot program. I would never do it. I would never want to see it because I don't want to see that flag.
Championship matchup with the Steiner brothers. The Steiners beat that team, the Midnight Express, in the Meadowlands in East Rutherford, New Jersey on August the 24th, and it's going to be Beautiful Bobby and Steve Armstrong starting it out.
Well, I think the Southern Boys have surprised a lot of folks, Jim, since they burst on the NWA and the World Championship.
It's wild that Robert Gibson was never a wild-eyed Southern boy.
In the ring, but I think their youth And the fact that they are so young, but the fact that they've had such tremendous success has been a surprise to a lot of people.
Look at that. Just beautiful. Another one. Oh, yes. Mwah. Love it. Love it. Easy hit. Southern.
Goes to the far side and the near side. Nice leapfrog there. And another one, but
that was dope.
But a good adjustment there by Steve Armstrong.
They would be the old Pistols now.
And now very quickly, Steve Armstrong up top. Bobby Eaton's in a little bit of a daze there. Clothesline from the top. The wild-eyed Southern boys would like to end it early here.
Scott and Tracy were a hell of a team.
If they can do that before the Midnight Express really get on track.
Fans still to come here on World Championship.
This does count as the Armstrong spot of the bingo card. Jonathan, mark it up. Because we do have an Armstrong here. We'll have an Armstrong later, too.
Scott Steiner, the runner. Ric Flair, the blocker.
Well, this is an outstanding program, Jim, from top to bottom, as you mentioned.
I think AEW should bring back the Gauntlet. They have enough TV.
Gordon Soley with Wrestling News Network, the Wild Man from Borger, Texas, Stan Hansen, and much more. Nice double team move there.
Tracy didn't figure out he was Italian until later. He went on whatever version of 23andMe. It was on Angel Fire.
Expound on that often, but Tracy Smothers has got a very sound martial arts background in several forms of the martial arts.
Well, I tell you, they showed you what they were made of.
I love that they threw that. They made that giant banner for the WCW hotline, and then threw it in the darkest possible corner of the arena, so you cannot see it. Look at these guys move. Beautiful. Always loved Tracy's little fake karate shit that he did.
Right hand, right foot.
Oh. Oh.
There's a super kick. Caught him right in the face. And beautiful Bobby Eaton, who last night was involved in a tremendous encounter. What a match that man had. Friday night on the Power Hour.
Like, Bobby has fully committed to them. That thing flows.
I've seen in recent months. And by the way, fans, the action in the ring. Let's
the wild-eyed South American.
You can see action like this tonight in Jacksonville.
The Tracy and Stan's karate fights are some of the funniest shit.
At 7:30, it's the big night at the
it is very much what Americans thought fighting looked like back then.
With a paid adult admission, they get a free Sting wristwatch.
Ooh, Sting wristwatch night, hell
are on sale right now at all Ticketmaster outlets and all day tomorrow.
All Ticketmaster outlets. Thank you for the tip, Jonathan. I just looked at my phone. Mucho appreciate. Super kick. Tracy loves to lock up. That's why we're so happy. To be in a collar and elbow tie-up is to be in heaven. Here we go, karate time. Yeah.
Well, you saw some of the martial
He's gonna stretch them hammies out.
Southern boys. Now let's see what Lane can do.
There was at least one winner of the Gauntlet. I think maybe even two. They only did it a couple weeks. There we go. They're gonna do the thing with the fists that like nobody actually did in fights.
Well, Tracy Smothers is the taller of the two, and he's got the reach advantage.
And they did this every match, and the crowd always loved it. Thank you, B. Clark, for Dark. Yeah, I thought it was kind of a different, fun thing we could do, and it kind of fit the time slot. It doesn't always work since. Oh shit! Stan throwing low-key kicks. Because there are definitely time periods in WCW history where they ran way more than 2 hours of TV in a weekend. But it works for this. I'm happy to do it. Look at that guy in the front row in the corner. Yeah! You did some Kimpo on his ass. Bobby's just gonna do a Harley race bump for no reason.
Our colleague Gordon Soley will be along in a little while, folks, with the wrestling wrap-up, and Gordon will be focusing on Stan Hansen's.
Imagine wearing a hat on that moment.
United States Heavyweight Championship, currently held by the awesome total package Lex Luger, and Bobby Eaton just sucker punched Tracy Smothers. Smothers let his guard
Yeah, this
down
match is
long.
great. So we've been very blessed. And by blessed, I mean I picked a good set of shows.
Smothers doesn't realize
Fuck Wando. Oh, that ruled. That ruled. That was great. Somebody needs to bring that back.
the winner of this match.
The butterfly suplex out of the O'Connor roll. That was sweet.
Against the Steiner brothers.
Bam, sucker.
And this one has really been competitive thus
Saint
far.
Tom.
Regardless of which team advances to that match, that's going to be a whale of a match.
I'll be applying for sainthood in the year 2042.
That would be a tremendous one.
I expect to talk to the heavyweight champion of the world live here on the program.
I love how Jim Ross, to like hype interviews, used to always say, I expect to talk to the world champion this week. Like, maybe it won't happen. I expect to.
Nice drop toe hold.
Stands a master of both the martial and the marital arts. Yes, the extra marital.
Coming down for 3. Tracy Smothers in a great deal of trouble here on World Championship Wrestling.
I love how, for a guy who could never fucking cut a promo to save his life, whenever Bobby would like fuck with dudes' faces like that into the camera, he would be like, say hi, mom, say hi, mom. And it's always really funny. But otherwise, you can never understand what he's saying.
He's wearing one of the largest yellow jackets I've ever seen.
Come on, Jim Ross, that's mean.
Well, that thing is yellow.
Also, Stan Lane's knee pads match that hideous sweater. Oh, that was fun.
The first mistake made in tag team strategy in the match by the Midnight Express. Tracy Smothers must make the tag here.
That Jimmy Suzuki in the corner photographing the match? I can't get a good look on him. Might be. It's between Cornette and the camera operator, just some real hideous colors at ringside. Hey, Optimum Vision, glad to have you. Happy vacation. Crowd is buzzing like hyper dolphins. Oh, look at that. Look at that small package. That's very unique. I feel like the Armstrongs all did the small package that way. Oh! Lupin the Third takes a big old bump. There's the Freebirds. With their, like, deathcore glam look. Yeah, those folks fucking love them. Love them some wrestling. This is great. Look at the cameraman's ass. That's a good ass. Very tight. Sexually harassing a camera operator. I think this might have been the Georgia Mountain Center. Somebody might be able to look that up, who's not. My phone's acting up. Otherwise, I would totally look it up. Wrestling crap up? Gordon Soley just burying everyone? This Black Scorpion storyline shit. Gug, gug, gug. Look at that. I would plaster a poster.
This week concerns the
beautiful
total package. Lex Luger, the U.S. heavyweight champion, in his upcoming match with Stan the Lariat Hansen. This will take place on pay-per-view.
It was the Georgia Mountain Center.
Halloween
Okay.
Havoc. Recently,
there's like always in this era, there's like a 50% chance what you're watching is from the Georgia Mountain Center.
Here's the way it looked as it happened during the Clash of Champions.
It became WCW Magazine spring of '91. When they kind of realized that having a magazine not called the name of the company was very confusing to fans. There's Ric Flair's butt cheek. This match was great. Flair and Luger, like the Flair run and like this whole era of Luger is why I can't take anybody seriously who says that Lex Luger was bad. Yeah, this is the clip that was edited off of that Power Hour a little bit ago. And he spits on him. Oh, he actually did spit on him. That's disgusting.
I was just out there on national TV, Nature Boy, Total Package, the final chapter. And you made some over Stan Hansen. If you want to
now it makes sense why he's so mad. He got spit poop on him.
You made your point abundantly clear to the Total Package when you jumped me and stomped me in the ground and almost took my life out of me down that mat.
The photographer behind the camera is like, dude, it's third grade picture day. Just move along, buddy.
There's fire in these eyes. No fear.
No fear.
Obviously, by those comments from the Total Package, Lex Luger, he is fully ready and willing to meet Stan Hansen.
See, the problem with
the
like
US Heavyweight Championship on
wrestlers
the line.
getting to cut promos
Once again,
on
we'd
like
like to
social
remind you,
media these
Wrestling
days and
Wrap-Up
having
is
these like
brought
long
to you by
monologues
the
in the
official
ring
publication
is like
of
when you have
NWA
30
World
seconds,
Championship Wrestling,
you just
the Wrestling
blurt
Wrap-Up,
out half
available at all
sentences
arenas where you
as
see
passionately
World
as possible
Championship Wrestling.
because you're scared
And
you're going to
now,
run out of
let's
time.
return to the ring for more action.
Promos don't end like that anymore. They have actual conclusions. People actually get to end their thoughts. It's not as fun. Stan the Lariat Hansen is about to hit some fans with his rope.
In the ring in the corner from Rockyport, Colorado, at 210 pounds, Pedro Gonzalez. Well, Hansen attacking Pedro Gonzalez, but
Pedro Gonzalez.
Hansen made some comments.
Poor Pedro
He wanted
Gonzalez.
Lex Luger to hear specifically. Let's hear these pre-recorded comments from the bad man
Got so many
from
turds
Boulder.
in his mouth.
You never had to deal with nobody like me, Lex Luger. I'm the one who does it all. I do what I want to do.
I'm the one who does it all.
And I'm going to do it to you.
All.
What I'm going to do this, boy.
Wrestles,
You're going to get an idea. What I'm
cleans
gonna
the
do
house,
to you in Chicago.
delivery driver. All of
When
it.
they finally meet for the U.S. title, it'll be a match unlike any Lex Luger has
Yeah, good thing that Jim Ross clarified those were pre-recorded and not the ghost of Stan Hansen rising up.
In or out of the ring, he's also a very strong and imposing force.
No, you stick it says, judging by the nicknaming, JBL would be John the Clothesline from Hell, Bradshaw Layfield. Who would I have wanted a job to the least in this era? The Steiners?
He wants to be the world's champion, but who doesn't as far as the competitors
Like,
in world
they just seemed cruel.
He's got to go right through Lex Luger.
Like, Stan Hansen would, like, he would hit you, and it would hurt. But it would also be over quickly. And, like, Sid had his couple of things that looked like crazy, awful bumps. The Steiners would, if they wanted to, just go like 8 minutes and do whatever they wanted with your body.
Hansen doesn't care about the defeat.
They just make shit up.
He just wants Lex Luger in the ring. And right now, let's hear from the undefeated Master Blasters.
By now, everybody knows
Hell
who
yeah.
we are. The Master Blasters. Iron and steel. We're not here to make any friends. I'll tell
Hell,
you what,
Iron's
we're
not
here
even
for one
here.
thing.
He's already
That's the
gone
first
by this
people.
point.
Oh yeah, the Master Blasters.
We don't know Iron, the guy with Kevin Nash, just
Nobody
disappeared
ever will.
after like a week. Here we go. Elegante is probably going to dance here. Yeah, Iron looked like he was having a panic attack because he was really having a panic attack. Like, he was so scared to be on the road. Like Nash said, like, he had a breakdown and was just like, fuck it, I'm not doing wrestling.
And of course, El Gigante taking the time to come out and see the fans and be with his tag team partner, the Junkyard Dog.
Oh, hey, it's that piece of shit that tried to torture our British friend. Bootleggers have such a gold mine of this era of WCW. Oh my god. That's the laziest hip toss I've ever seen. Also, why is Elegante in his corner?
Your 7-footers and your 6'11" guys. This guy's 7'7" tall.
Like, is this a handicap match?
He's always taking time to converse. He has limited English, but he always enjoys talking to the fans, especially the little kids. Sometimes they look up at him and all. Like
Yeah, I've seen the Elegante versus Nails match. It is hilarious. It is El Gigante against a much smaller version of himself.
That's right, but as you say, he loves people, Jim, and he wants to be with people and mix with people.
Oh.
Junkyard Dog.
Junkyard Dog might have been one of the six-man tag champions. I think it was him, Tommy Rich, and Ricky Morton. Literally just whoever was left in the locker room at the end of the night got to be the world six-man tag champs.
Side of the ring, that's for sure. As he looked up, he looked right into that great big foot of El Gigante's.
You know, fans, you can't believe how big this
Randy Anderson's just being a dope here.
No, Jim, the television really doesn't tell the story. When you see him in person, particularly when you stand
there we
close
go.
to him.
There's a headbutt. Not even the thump. Just the headbutt. Yeah. What a valiant babyface, having the largest person in the world harass your opponent in the corner.
In just a few moments, the current statement from the Black Scorpion. And Bob, to say he's got inside Sting's head, the world's champion, would certainly be an understatement.
Jim, we talked about it. He's certainly playing mind games with Sting. There's no doubt about that. And it's almost like he doesn't want to beat him in the ring. He's sending, say, imposters down to the ring, people to wrestle for him. It's like he's trying to mentally...
Anybody's not going to like somebody named the Black Scorpion. Going to be Bob Caudle.
And I'll tell you something, it may be working.
Imagine Bob Caudle going back to Jesse Helms' office on Monday. Get this shit. They had me work with someone named the Black Scorpion.
You're losing control. Where's your confidence? You always seem to know what's happening.
Black Scorpion looks so
You've always
sad.
been the master of your destiny. But at the Clash, I saw your
Black Scorpion
face.
rolling the dashboard confessional, trips to Brazil.
Control. Everybody could see that you're losing confidence. Maybe even losing your mind. Must be pressure with that belt. The Horsemen, Sid, everyone after you. I see you're going to wrestle Sid at Halloween Havoc.
Like he just,
But don't forget,
he looks like Todd in the
before
Shadows.
Halloween Havoc, you have to meet me again. You beat me, I'll tell you who I am. But remember,
The Black Scorpion voice
Sid wants
sounds
your
like that
belt.
scene from
I won't be
Private
satisfied
Parts,
until I get
where the
your
woman
life.
calls up and asks to have sex with Howard over the radio, and then she straddles her subwoofer while Howard goes into the microphone.
The one and only Stinger here on World Championship Wrestling.
I believe Gordon Soley got taken to his lair the week or two afterwards.
Beginning inside your head, because night and day you've got to be thinking about who is the man that wants to drive me nuts.
You're right, he's starting to get to the
Look at
Stinger
that
a little bit
tail
too
on
mentally,
Sting's
you know
head.
something, because you don't know how to prepare for somebody like this. Why he wants me, why he wants a world title, I have no idea. But somewhere, sometime soon, I am going to find out who the Black Scorpion is, Rossi.
You know, we try to put all these clues together, whether it be, he's talking about California.
It's adorable. He used to call him Ross. He still does call him Rossi.
From California, have you been able to put any of these clues together to determine his
Yeah, it's
identity?
wild how many
Like I
layers
said before,
WCW
so
had.
close when I hear him talk, when I see his face, you can just
Sting
see the silhouette.
was
I don't know why I
supposed to
can't
have
get a
an
clear picture
inkling
this
of who
guy,
it was.
But it's like this far away
But, like,
every
he was-
time, just on the tip of my tongue, if you know what I'm
Like yeah,
talking
like he
about.
said, it's like,
Wait just a
I
minute.
think I know who it
There's
is.
something here behind us.
I think
I don't know
so.
if we get a shot of it or not. The Black Scorpion apparently has a.
But like every time they would get closer to a reveal, they would reveal something, and it's like, oh, maybe I don't
Ladies
know.
and gentlemen, the Stinger making his way through the crowd here, Bob.
I thought he was going to end it all right here.
Hey, Bravo needs bacon. It's Sting. Hey, Powerhouse Tim Parker. Hell yeah.
I'm going to run down to the locker room, see if I can find out what's going on down there.
All right, Bob Caudle going to the locker room to give a report. He'll be back momentarily. But right now, let's get this situation back together and go back and put together. Now, Wildcat Wendell Cooley.
A random Wendell Cooley match.
Across the ring, his opponent from
And Wendell Cooley was in WCW in this era.
Powerhouse Parker. All right,
The WCW Minis
Cooley,
division.
this crowd still buzzing. The Black Scorpion, I think, is successfully getting inside the head of the heavyweight champion of the world. He is a man that is seemingly
Yeah, Wendell
obsessed
Cooley
in
was around
ending
for
the
a few
career of
months
Sting.
in this
He
era.
is makes so many menacing statements, and again he appeared. Much
And like he never did any. He
nowhere,
just
like
would
he did at
appear
the
and
Clash of
squash a guy and then
Champions,
disappear
again
for a
here
few
on
weeks.
TBS, on World
He never
Championship
did
Wrestling.
any. Like
makes
he
an
won all of
appearance
his
tonight.
matches, I
My
think, on
colleague Bob
TV.
Caudle has gone to the locker room area to see if he can find out.
But like
what
every
is
time he would appear, it's like,
back
ooh,
there.
Wendell Cooley works
And
here
we'll hopefully
apparently.
get Bob back out here in a few moments and give us an update on this Sting Black Scorpion situation. It is very, very bizarre. Sting has signed a contract
Dungeon of Doom
to
has
wrestle the Black
aged
Scorpion
a lot better
anywhere in
than-
the country. That is an
Not
open
in like
contract.
actually being good. It's
But
just
until
fun
he
to
gets him in the
watch.
ring and until he
Dungeon of
gets
Doom
the
stuff.
true Black Scorpion in the ring, then and only then will this situation be settled.
Yeah, this is almost as bad as when Sammy Guevara and Brian Cage both dressed up as the same superhero a few weeks ago. At least Wendell Cooley's wearing cowboy boots.
Fans still to come. The Freebirds have a statement to make about their new secret weapon. And also Scott Steiner will take on Ric Flair in the second match of the running of the gauntlet. Steiner defeated beautiful Bobby Eaton last night on the Power Hour, on his way to what he hopes is an eventual meeting tomorrow on the main event with Arn Anderson in a $15,000
Yeah, the great
check.
tag team of Wendell Cooley and Tim Powerhouse Barker.
And I cannot believe this Black Scorpion knows exactly when to appear, and perhaps more specifically,
This Black
he
Scorpion knows exactly when to appear. We give him his formats ahead of time,
Really
and he always hits his
what this
cues.
man has in store for the heavyweight champion. And if Sid Vicious assault,
I love how they teased that Sting was going to beat the shit out of the Black Scorpion, and then we're like, nope, we're going to give you a Wendell Cooley match. Now, those are swim trunks. That cameraman is wearing swim trunks.
but I really feel that that's what the Black Scorpion has in mind.
There is no water anywhere in
Bob Caudle
sight.
just joining us back here. Bob, what's going on back there?
Let me see if I can catch my breath, Jim, because I made a quick run back there and a quick run
Making
back.
that
I went
old
all
man
through the dressing room.
friggin'
I tell you, I couldn't
run
find the
around.
Scorpion anywhere. He had just disappeared into thin air, and Sting was out of the building. They tell me that he went charging out of the arena. I couldn't find anyone. Couldn't find out anything.
Couldn't find anyone, so just lit up a smoke.
Looking for the guy
Evidently, he went outside somewhere looking for him, because evidently the Scorpion is nowhere in the building at the moment.
That certainly puts Sting
Either
on
it's
the
worn on
because
a
there's no
the
telling what kind of
swim
traffic
trunks were worn on a
Black
dare,
Scorpion
or
would have
it's
Sting goes outside,
1990,
I'll tell you that, because
and
there'll be no
people just
security
wore
out
weird
there.
shit.
No, but I tell you, that guy has really worked on Sting's mind, Jim. It's
Yeah, likely it was more that he had to piss. And he's like, hey, Jim, I'm going to go find the Black Scorpion. ... Wander into the stall, take a dump.
Potentially powder keg-like situation with Sting and the Black Scorpion as Wildcat Wendell Cooley.
Wendell Cooley is loving this hammer lock.
Parker.
Reverse wrist
Another
lock.
national television, Bob, taping is coming up on Monday night. That's in Marietta, and we expect some real fireworks. It's just too many things happening.
Well, you're right, Jim. That's going to be at the Cobb Civic Center. And also on Tuesday, we're going to be in Florence, Alabama, and also in Albany,
This is the part of the
Georgia, and
show where
Wednesday in Columbus,
WCW
Georgia,
commentators would
Thursday
just
in Hampton, Virginia, and Friday in
calmly tell you
Baltimore,
what
and in
towns
Fort
in
Pierce, Florida.
Alabama and Georgia they would be visiting that week.
Action next weekend. A little bit later in the broadcast. Remember, still to come, we are anxiously awaiting the first nationally televised broadcast of a one-on-one match involving Scott Steiner and Nature Boy Ric Flair.
What was that? Tim Parker?
Powerhouse Parker a little tentative coming into the corner, and Wildcat Wendell Cooley taking advantage
Did
of
he
that.
think he was going to fly?
He who hesitates is lost.
I tell you, Jim, if Scott Steiner even makes it through the second leg of that gauntlet, if he ever gets to win that money,
Why
he
is
has
this
really
match
earned it.
still
First of all,
happening?
Now, Nature Boy Ric Flair.
Wildcat Wendell Cooley now with that arm barred on Powerhouse Tim Parker.
These guys have gone well over 5
tell you
minutes.
something, this is,
Also, I forgot to say
the main
hello,
event this
Susan.
Sunday night.
I've been
We
hypnotized
know
by
he's gonna have
how
the danger zone. Paul East
long
gonna be talking to Teddy Long.
this match. Yeah, were they both sent out and were just under the impression they were losing?
Sunday night. Show you some exclusive footage.
Shit, we gotta figure out who
You don't want
wins.
to miss that. And of course, then if Scott Steiner, and it's a
Hey,
big,
Uncle
big
Kaiju.
if, defeats Nature
Bob
Boy
Caudle
Ric
still
Flair
alive
here
and kick.
today
What
on
the
World Championship
fuck?
Wrestling, he goes against Arn Anderson for 15 grand.
He just squished
Tomorrow,
old
that's a
Tim
lot of
Parker's
money.
head.
If Flair wins today, the 15,000 is split between Eaton, Flair, and Arn Anderson. Back up to a vertical base are both these athletes, both attired in yellow. Wildcat Wendell Cooley with the arm.
Even Jim Ross was like, one of you should have worn different trunks.
Still can't understand how the Scorpion can disappear so quick. I was back to the dressing room. I had to be just steps behind wherever he was.
Poor Wendell Cooley. Even his Wikipedia, according to Matt, says that he was a jobber to the stars. Shout out Scott Keith.
Way, Bob, because it was much like that at the Clash of Champions. He appeared and out of nowhere, so to speak, and then he disappeared in the same manner.
That's a great thought, TK Bomber. If we go long enough, they'll have to call a time limit draw, and then nobody has to lose.
Powerhouse Parker pushing Wildcat Cooley back into the corner. Nails him to those four.
Like, I would typically go with that, Cecil. This was taped like 3 weeks before it aired, though. So they could have found something else put in the spot.
You can hear that one. That's super kick.
But no, we gotta do a 9-minute Wendell Cooley Tim Parker match. What a wonderful team, Wendell Cooley and Frankie the Thumper Lancaster.
But I hope we can take another look at this super kick.
Boy, he had to
boom.
Behind that one. It was right on the chin, and Parker goes down.
That's like the second or third super kick we've seen in 2 or 3 matches.
Takes a tremendous force of that kick. 1, 2, 3. There's the winner, Cooley.
Don't go away. We're right back on TBS. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to World Championship Wrestling.
All these people excited that they've been freed from that Wendell Cooley match.
Right now, let's hear from the Freebirds.
If you right now, you better understand one thing. We do whatever we want to do, whenever we want
Michael
to do.
Hayes' makeup just looks like they did a bad job with the chroma key on the green screen.
That's right, and you know when you are the greatest rock and roll band in the world, it allows you a few special perks. And right now we're going to show you one. Come on in here.
At a show once where I semi-main and during my entrance was asked to go an extra 10 to 15 minutes because one of the guys in the main event accidentally poked himself in the eye. And they had to replace him and figure out an entirely new main event. This is Little Richard Marley's debut. Rocky King became the roadie of the Freebirds.
And when you're the greatest rock and roll band, well, little Richard here, he takes care of anything that we need. Now, do I make myself clear? Anything that we need, whatever we want to do.
That's right. They were absolutely teasing that they were having. I'm not making a joke. That was a legit part of it. Was to get quote unquote gay heat. Michael Hayes would allude in promos they were having sex with little Richard Marley. That was on purpose. Mike Bailey stabbed himself in the eye and had to be replaced on that show.
Being joined by Anderson of the Horsemen.
Wow.
A big money match. Flair and Scott Steiner. First time ever one-on-one on national television.
Well, the Freebirds went along with a lot of the queer bait. Though I think that's by far the most they went along with it. It was just straight up alluding like they were having sex with a man. Good thing about Ric Flair being in the ring for this match is he's not doing commentary where he's right up on the microphone like this. The best Steiners? I would hate to see the worst Steiners. And imagine how bad those jackets must have smelled.
Anderson there with Nature Boy Ric Flair, and you got to keep your eyes on the Horsemen at all times. Got very wise to have Rick come out to the ring with him.
Ladies and gentlemen, of course, the big event in the Omni is.
Yeah, I think from like almost Jump Street, like every booker that came into WCW wanted to run with Scott as a singles, and Scott was always like, no. I'm a tag guy with my brother, for better or worse.
In the past, I've been trying to be around, and I got the opportunity to be in the corner with the Steiners tomorrow night. And I'm thankful for the opportunity here tonight to sit and watch one of the Steiners go against Ric Flair, which was...
I believe this is Thunderbolt Patterson on commentary.
Six-time world champion, one of the
for like 6 months. Oh, gross. They would have Thunderbolt Patterson come on TV almost weekly and say, "Oh yeah, soon I'll be managing the Steiners," and the Steiners kept saying, "No, we don't want a manager."
And I know a lot of guys say, "Well, I'm a legend," but this man indeed has earned it. Nice fireman carry takeover.
And like they kept forcing it, and the Steiners kept saying, "No, we don't want this man with us."
Steiner holding on very pugnaciously with that arm bar.
Jim, excuse me, as Thunderbolt said, not only does he know how to wrestle, but Steiner is such a well-built youngster. He's such a powerful young man, too, to go with all that ability.
Yeah, the Steiner Flair hate did start from that 91 Clash match. Flair, he didn't outright sandbag him, but he didn't give him a good match. At a time where Flair's given everybody a good match.
World Championship material written all over him. Well, this is the measuring stick. I would say that they would be measured by the Nature Boy. And there's a
I mean, to be fair, there are redwood trees that are skinny compared to Scott Steiner.
I asked Flair last night, Bob, on the Power Hour, if he was going to try to mat wrestle Scott Steiner and try to negate some of that great strength advantage that Steiner has. He said, "I'll know how to wrestle him when I look into his eyes when we step into the ring."
Well, I think that's true, but I think you would be wise to do that. And Jim, I started to say also, 6 times world champion. Here's a man that's been up against the very best that the sport has had to offer for some time. He's been in against them all. That's experience that you can only get from in the ring. And that's
Grizzly bears that are small compared to
he's got a
little
lot of
Scotty.
experience. He doesn't have the caliber of experience as does Ric Flair.
Nick Patrick back in the ring. First time we've seen him since that atrocity in Power Hour that he...
And it looks like that he has all the ability.
Referee Gino, thank you so much for re-upping with Prime. My syringe is going to be full tonight.
He knows how to wrestle. He knows how to fight.
With sub-hormones that I will inject into my butt cheek.
He's got all the tools, no doubt about it.
I have seen the Scott Steiner workout video that's just softcore porn. Oh, shit. Just side slam him. Just side slam him. Oh my gosh. That could have been bad. More commentators should refer to ringside as out of bounds. I like that.
Again goes out of bounds. That'll break the momentum that was being mounted by Scott Steiner.
That is a weird little gap of concrete between the ring and the mats. Shellcracker, thank you so much for re-upping your Prime. Prime sub. My goodness, I'm gonna be huge. All your homies love Nick Patrick. Our homies are gonna fight.
And Bob, that may be a little bit of subterfuge because Flair is a long way.
Maybe something in this match caused Flair to be like, we shouldn't go with this guy. And it was probably that tilt-a-whirl. Like, you could see the straight up fear in his eyes when he was kind of hanging sideways there.
Great strategy and what a chop.
Ooh, kip up from old Scotty.
Steiner with the right hands, but Flair controlling the action. Sends him for the ride. There's a Steiner line. He pulverized Flair.
Flair's hand was straight up under the bottom rope when that count started.
With a right hand on the Nature Boy. Rick Steiner must be very careful not to get his partner disqualified. Because if Flair wins it by disqualification, the running of the gauntlet has ended.
Yeah, Nick Patrick is just the worst.
Keep your eye on Rick Steiner over there.
Just letting everybody cheat. Why not?
There's the enforcer to step in.
Rick can hardly resist it, Jim. He wants to get into the action so bad.
Right. Rick would never be there if Arn wasn't there, so that's kind of evening it up there a little bit.
That's correct. The best friend of the guy wrestling would not be there if his best friend was not wrestling. What insightful commentary. Hell yeah! He just banged his head against that thing. God, I love wrestling crowds in this era. God, this crowd rules.
Flair's got gotta be reeling from that beating. Gotta be.
But never count him out.
He keeps coming back.
You never can count him out. Ric Flair, the number 3 contender for the heavyweight championship of the world, behind Lex Luger and behind Big Sid.
There's a lot of reasons why crowds aren't like that anymore. I mean, they can be, like, in big moments. Like that, the finish of that Jey Uso Braun Breaker match last night was wonderful. But, like, in general, I could go on all day about that. I am not an elderly wrestling personality with a podcast, so I will not be doing that.
So solid there on the chest of Scott Steiner. A nice
Kids these days.
The momentum now is in with Ric Flair, I gotta think.
I will say, I think cell phones are a big part of it.
He can cut you in two with those chops, and it's a big equalizer.
Yep, you nailed it on the head, Bravo. Yep.
And don't forget, Bob, he's got that figure 4 leg lock. And Bob, you've been in the figure 4 before. It's one of the most excruciating holds in wrestling. Scott Steiner fighting back.
Oh yeah, I could imagine. It sounded incredible on television.
He's wrestling a power match with a nature boy. And the fans want to see the Frankensteiner. That's what he put Bobby Eaton away with last night. But right now,
yep, you think fans are obnoxious now? Green Lantern fan, show up to your funeral. And imagine if Scott accidentally gave him the DDT.
From behind, Arn Anderson nailed him from behind. The referee was detained with Rick Steiner.
Up.
Flair's got his feet on the ropes. 1, 2.
Nope.
He kicked out. That's power.
This is a good-sized building too. Viva La Fame brought up good-sized building for what they're doing. Everyone's on top of each other. Good for acoustics. Just the energy is good. What was that supposed to be? I think they're lost. Nick Patrick, get the fuck out of the way, buddy. Oh, yeah, imagine Ric Flair taking a freaking Steiner with his neck.
Referees having the referee almost 2 matches here.
They have done so much interference. So much. And this is 1990. Big Brother. Jim Ross sounds like the Russians are spying. Big Brother hit Ric Flair. Oh, Scott Steiner 2 for 2 so far, running the gauntlet. Yeah, Nick Patrick is horrible at looking like he's not seeing what's happening in the ring. He's wearing ruse.
As he came into the ring, Scott then, all he had to do was go over and cover Ric Flair for the count of 3 as Scott Steiner has
Nick Patrick's stellar job.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it will be this Sunday night, tomorrow night. Arn Anderson, Scott Steiner for 15 grand. Here's the
Is the camera like on a bouncy ball?
Curiosity is up, definitely. And I am obsessed one way or another. I'm going to find you, Mr. Black Scorpion.
From the champion of the world, and we'll be back. We'll talk to Sid Vicious and Arn Anderson right after this timeout.
Hi, I'm Missy Hyatt, inviting you to join Jim Ross and me tomorrow night at 6
Like, I feel like half of Missy's job was just telling people to inviting people to watch her in the main event.
And that's tomorrow at 6:05.
Tomorrow.
On TBS.
All right, Sid, I know you want Sting for the heavyweight championship of the world.
Sting! Do you remember what happened
Sid
to you in that
rules.
clash, boy? You're running around here saying, I've got trouble with the Black Scorpion. Wrong, sucker! You got trouble with me!
Wrong, sucker. Sabrina Carpenter at home in utero taking notes.
And tomorrow night, right here on TBS, you stand between Scott Steiner and $15,000.
My friend, it is headhunting time.
Scott Steiner, you have done the unmentionable.
He's done the unmentionable, meaning underwear? Those are unmentionables. Hey, Stephen J. Neptune, man. Welcome. Well kept shave on the beard by Arn. Very straight. Lexus King-like.
Fans, we'll see you tomorrow night at 6:05.
All right, before we go to our last show of the evening, here's what we'll be watching Sunday night on Off the Grid.
Thank you very much for all the cards and letters and presents I've received. I really appreciate it. I love you all. Thank you.
All right, so we're finishing off our AWF escapades on Sunday night with the Z-Men. But right now, Sunday night, NWA main event. See, the reason why I put early 96 is because those episodes all aired at different times in different markets. Like depending on when the show started, it would have aired anywhere from like early February to like end of April. So those really don't have dates, those AWF episodes.
With the manager of the World Tag Team Champions, Teddy Long, about their situation involving the Horsemen, plus the finals of the Gauntlet.
Oh, it was all paid programming.
$15,000 tonight.
Paul Alperstein bought all those time slots.
Last night, Missy, on World Championship Wrestling, Scott Steiner and Ric Flair.
I could not believe he got by Ric Flair. You know, I think it's just a fluke.
Missy started dating Jason Hervey a few months after this. Hey, Rudrick. Like, I think they went public like January 91.
$15,000 if Scott Steiner can defeat Arn Anderson. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we also want to remind you, fans in the Atlanta area, that the Omni
Jim Ross is looking so tan
here.
here.
Sting wristwatch night. Kids 14 years of age and under with a paid adult admission will be able to get a free watch.
Yeah, but it should have my picture on it, Jim.
You're always wanting something with... Oh, right. Fans, let's take a look
So you
at how
can
Scott
just
Steiner
jerk off to your wrist? What?
Scotty Steiner kicked out. A near fall. Cornette's up on the apron. And Scott Steiner's thrown over the top rope.
All right, well, we're seeing a recap of everything we've watched this far. This was Friday night on Power Hour. Coco. I can see that. Hey, EJ, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate that. Her looks like a jack-o'-lantern. Hello to Tank Sinatra. Again, the Horsemen strike. Boom, sucker. We're going to go until about a little over 10 after the hour, just FYI. A little bit over the 11 o'clock hour, but I'll get you to bed at a decent time.
So there you see, ladies and gentlemen, exactly how Scott Steiner qualified to win $15,000 tonight. It's the finals of the...
Oh, it's only $15,000.
A little bit later here on the main event.
Well, like I said, Jim Ross, it was a fluke.
So if Arn Anderson wins, then Arn, Flair, and Bobby all get $5,000 each.
Let Scott Steiner win tonight. Kind of like you won't let me borrow your Neiman Marcus charge card, will you?
You got that right, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll be back.
I wonder if that happened during the pandemic.
Lex Luger, the United States heavyweight champion, is next on the main event.
Women be shopping, that's right. And hey, we got commercials for this. This is the era where every commercial had a slogan, not a slogan, but a jingle. It kind of sounded like a rap, but not really.
Greyhound anywhere Greyhound goes for just $68.
LJH, what if instead of running a gauntlet, the wrestlers just played the arcade game Gauntlet? Imagine Ric Flair trying to play an arcade game.
Who's that? John Hatcher. DEA. In Hard to Kill, he got even.
He thinks he's retired.
Oh, hey, look, it's Kurt Hennig's friend.
Your family has been marked.
Steven Seagal is marked for death. But this time, he's bringing out the big guns. Marked
Like,
for
you'd
death.
think
Rated R.
Seagal being a mark for his martial arts, he'd be like, no guns in my movies.
Drops below Xerex. If you don't know that about antifreeze now, this is where you're likely to learn it.
Long-term parking.
Antifreeze fails. It usually fails here, when your car has been sitting idle, when it's very dark and very deserted and very cold. Oh, thank heavens.
Oh,
you
thank
did remember
heavens.
Xerex antifreeze. The temperature never drops below Xerex.
What girl's
There we go. Milk commercial where
Hang in there, Tom.
someone's like,
I'm you 2 years from
hey,
now.
when you're
I'll be
older, you
drinking
get to
milk and working
fuck a
out.
lot.
Well, I'm not changing so far. But milk's at work inside you. Oh, yeah?
Shit, I parked my car in Antarctica
Antarctica
for a month.
All that protein for muscle and calcium for bones.
But I'm still a skinny bench warmer.
Hey, if the
Yeah,
son of
kid,
yourself
but when
thinks
you're
he does
older, your
good
dick will be
stuff,
huge.
Listen to your senior year girlfriend.
Hi, Tom. I'm waiting.
Milk. It does about
That's a weird thing to say to a 12-year-old. Hey, I'm waiting to fuck you, little boy. Look at that head of hair on Lex. Like, that's what all the milk commercials were. Essentially, are little kids seeing how much they get to fuck when they're older. Scotty Williams. Lex Luger versus a 4th grade gym coach.
Jim Ross and Missy Highback, William Missy. Lex Luger's got a big problem with a man we're going to see a little bit later in this segment, Stan the Lariat Hansen.
Well, that's Stan Hansen.
Like, Scotty Williams is a average-sized human being here, and he looks positively tiny.
Luger pushes Scotty Williams back into the corner. Luger, the United States heavyweight champion, was attacked by Stan Hansen at the Clash of Champions you fans saw here, the Fall Brawl here on TBS. And it certainly did not set very well with Lex Luger, quite obviously. And
Classic blue trunks, little Lexi.
Missy Luger is 6'5", 275. Got great fan support, as we can see. But Stan Hansen hits the weight about 300 pounds, and he is a real brawler.
That's right.
What a
He's been around the
flag.
block not once, but a few times. And Lex Luger
Yeah, Scotty Williams is a very good enhancement wrestler name. Wearing the 98 Triple H trunks, or tights. The ones that they used in, like, WWF Attitude.
Little or no avail as Luger comes back.
Luger's like, I'm not supposed to be selling.
Lex Luger and Stan Hansen, what a matchup it will be when they meet.
There we go. Beautiful.
Luger. And now the U.S. champion. The big question is, will he be able to get
There we
Stan
go.
Hansen up
Not
to the
wasting
rack?
time. Oh, almost lifted him too fast.
On TBS in the main event.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Hey, he was very nice with how he put him down. Yes, Lance Storm did have similar tits.
Fans will take another look at
He's so mad he has to flex even harder.
Look at this week's NWA Top 10. A great move, but it may not work on Hansen.
A great move that he could not get on all the way. There we
So
go.
this week's Top 10 from World
I love how
Championship
before tapping out, in order to submit, you had to, like, hail a cab. Like, hey.
Rankings of World Championship Wrestling. First of all, for tag teams, the number 10 team, the Nasty Boys. Number 9, Chip Horner and Captain Mike Rotunda. Number 8, Team BSS team.
I mean, that makes sense based on their match on Power Hour.
Number 6, the Freebirds ranked 5th. Number 4, ranking C's, the Rock and Roll Express checked in, followed by number 3, Jim Cornette.
Which is weird, because isn't the Argentine backbreaker another move in the torture rack?
The champions of the world, of course,
Doom, the team of Doom.
number 10, Wildfire Tommy Rich. The number 9,
Ron Simmons should get in with Big AJ and Justice.
rank 6, Flying Ryan.
Or
Number
Big
5
Justice
this
and
week,
AJ.
Stan the Lariat
They're both
Hansen.
big.
The World TV champion Arn Anderson ranked 4th. Ranked 3rd, the Nature Boy
The
Ric
Doom.
Flair. Sid Vicious moved up to number 2. The U.S. champion Lex Luger ranked number 1.
This is according to whatever was on the booking sheet, though. Stephen J. Neptune Man, this week in history. For September the 23rd, 1990, the Mets beat the Cubs 7-3. They'd be eliminated from playoff contention the following Sunday. Thanks to the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Yanks beat the Red Sox 5-4 to go 62-91 in the season. This would end up being the Yankees' first losing season in 24 years. And the Giants beat the Dolphins to go 3-0 in the season, but they would eventually win the Super Bowl. Thank you to Stephen J. Neptune Man, as always, the factoid master. Scotty Allen against, holy shit. All right, Cecil confirms the Argentine backbreaker and the torture record the same thing. For some reason, I thought the Argentine backbreaker was the one where the guy's horizontal across your shoulder. You just kind of squeeze like that. But I am wrong.
Or a man like Lex Luger, the U.S. champion.
How is Lex going to be able to prepare
That's the Canadian backbreaker, and you would know.
Like Stan Hansen.
I think that's a very good point because very few athletes can duplicate the intensity.
That's disgusting. He rips the chew out of his mouth and throws it at the guy. That's even grosser than spitting it. You do the A-Train, you also do the Rochester roadblock, which I appreciate.
Well, I'll tell you something. Lex Luger has to be aware of that, Missy, because that's one of Hansen's prime offensive weapons. We've seen Hansen, this is one of his modus operandi here. He likes to toss people outside. And
yeah, Stan Hansen, for those of you who don't know, legally blind.
The young man, Scott Allen,
he cannot see shit. Also, Scotty Allen's tights rule.
I know, isn't it some kind of wristwatch? Missy Hyatt wristwatch night, huh?
I think it's Sting watch night.
Hey, Chez, I believe is how you pronounce that. Thank you for the follow.
The watch is for the World
Yeah, Stan Hansen couldn't see a thing in the ring. He saw blurs. So that lariat was really, you were putting faith in that man's hands.
Paid adult admission. Free watching for the first 1,000 kids tonight in the Omni at 7:30. And Stan Hansen.
Hey, Mr. Higgs Bosom, whose name looks like Mr. Higgs Bosom.
He is a big, rough individual. I think his motivation for the belt is that he's hungry.
See, that's how it should be. Too many people stealing moves from whatever New Japan they're watching. Cool lucha move of the week. You're right on to watch 90s super heavyweight squash matches. Trash Compactor, the Roadblock, A-Train.
Before I went to interview him.
Hansen's going to make the man submit and has. Stan Hansen.
I would normally make fun of that because that kind of just looks like he's bending his arm the right way. But like the way he's doing it looks like he's pulling the shoulder out. Even if he's likely not doing anything. That was cool. That's dope, Cecil. Trash Compactor into an Emerald Explosion. That's sweet. Now I'm going to beat you with my rope.
Wants the U.S. title, and he wants Lex Luger one-on-one. And fans, Missy Hyatt, and I'll be back with you in just a moment on TBS.
Yes, up next, the gosh darned Candyman.
Do you know who the mystery wrestler is?
Gee, no.
I'm gonna break him in half. If you unmask the mystery wrestler,
Rick.
you can enter the Halloween Havoc 90s.
Why? Why are you so mad?
You could win a 3-day trip for free to
Knowing Paul, he probably did enter the contest.
Or one of 25 awesome prizes like a basic Nintendo system with World Championship Wrestling.
That's a sweet prize.
One of 200 official Halloween Havoc treat bags filled with goodies.
I would totally wear that shirt.
The mystery wrestler is from Venice Beach, California, and his favorite hold is the Scorpion Deathlock. You figure it out. Got it. Now
The winner is Black Scorpion? Sting. I will defeat you with Eddie Gilbert in World Championship Wrestling on the NES.
Halloween Havoc 90. If you don't win the trip, you can still see it live on pay-per-view October 27th.
Oh, hey, what's up? I'm Buddy.
I remember that. Yes, Stan Hansen did blow a booger on Lucas. So gross.
I keep thinking, right, because you gotta box them, and they make these little boxes, and then you close it in. Whoa, level 5. Yes. It doesn't even have any eyes. I know it's weird, but it sees you, right? Just. Pencil Mario guy comes out and starts singing to you.
Like, I was 3 years old when this aired, and somehow I'm still getting like nostalgic feels. The millennials, as we say. You know, I'm a frequent Pringle eater. Like, the can doesn't really make that noise. Maybe the old cans popped more, but like when I open one now, it's kind of very quiet.
Pringles.
At Vidal Sassoon, we believe getting hair into superior salon.
Brian's missing
3
this.
steps:
Shampoo commercial.
and finishing rinse. Now the benefits of these 3 salon steps are in one bottle. Introducing Ultra Care, the first salon shampoo.
Is that the
with
guy
protein
from Kaja Gugu?
The benefits of a finishing
Optimum Vision,
This
thank you for
final
upping that Prime sub.
hair from styling stress.
My syringe
Shampoo,
overfloweth.
conditioning, even finishing all in one.
You have to make the
For salon
popping
quality
sound
hair,
yourself. That's
3
lame.
benefits, one
I
bottle.
don't want to make a popping sound myself. I just want to put the chips in my mouth.
Tonight's experiment gets
If I'm eating your chips, I don't want to do a sound effect.
Sure. Okay, Molly, you're going to bed again. Now the music. Rock, rumba, reggae.
Since you
Reggae. That's
about
a.
them spots, you
That
can
is
escape,
sad,
so
like a
your dishes
woman's
will look great for the party.
passions that her husband is
Cascade
not
action
fulfilling.
rinses spots away.
The
Cascade.
centerpiece goes in the center.
Perfect. Don't take chances. Use Cascade because you don't have time for spots.
That's what quite a few guys in that locker room said, actually.
From Marietta, Georgia, at 240 pounds, the Candyman.
The Candyman. This is the period where he's still the Candyman, no longer passing out candy to the children, because that's just too ridiculous. Doug Vines has no idea where the camera is.
Candyman Brad Armstrong in those very distinctive tights to take on Doug Vines here on the main event, collar and elbow tie-up.
He looks like he's
Looks like Santa Claus, Indiana. They should have spun him around and had him team with Brutus Beefcake.
Doug Vines, a veteran competitor, very tough individual.
Discus clothesline. Doug Vines' singlet is very the bottom cut. That's risky. Your balls are gonna fall out.
He's a great athlete. If you think that's the tangible he's missing, you should spend more time.
Doug Vines looks like a 2.0
Time
earthquake.
interacting with the fans.
Yeah, quit giving out all that candy. It causes a tooth decay.
He didn't give out any candy, Missy.
Takeover by
3 weeks ago
Brad
on the gimmick.
Armstrong, you got to admit, Miss, he's in great physical condition. He can really stretch an opponent out.
We have a Doug Vines fan in the chat. I love that. Hey, I'm with that's awesome. Always love when the enhancement guy has a fan.
Reversal there by Candyman, hip blocking Doug Vines out. In a few moments, we're going to be hearing from the world's heavyweight champion Sting, and first we're going to hear from the Black Scorpion. And I tell you something,
Andy, Doug Vines should have worn red. That's a good point.
Before and you haven't delivered,
They could have been
I don't
friends.
think anybody knows exactly who the Black Scorpion is.
It's a secret, Jim, and I can't tell.
Well, I'm sure if you knew, the Sting would appreciate knowing.
I wouldn't tell Sting.
That candy cane on his boots. Come on, dude.
Yeah, see, that's what it is. If I tell you, you'll tell Sting, and then everybody will know, because he's got such a big mouth.
They should have just gone full Willy
Brad
Wonka.
Armstrong being scooped up there by Doug
Brad.
Vines. Vines misses the elbow and a Brad
Like have him come out hobbling on a cane and then do like a forward roll. And, I'm not really hurt.
Side Russian leg sweep, one of his most dynamic offensive moves. Second generation wrestler. His brother is one half of the Southern Boys. His dad, of course, is Bullet Bob Armstrong.
That's Sarge.
I think he needs a haircut, though.
Just the Oompa Loompa. Doug Vines could have been what's her name? Violet.
I would.
Candy Cane. Everybody hates him because he sucks. Yes.
I have beautiful
I love
hair,
that scene.
Jim. I'm beautiful.
The best hair money can buy.
Oh, please.
Side headlock, Doug Vines again taking.
Yeah, yeah, see, this you lose. Good day, sir. Good day, sir.
I guess that was a pretty good move for Brad Armstrong.
Remember, fans, the Sting Black Scorpion situation is really escalating. We'll hear from the Black Scorpion, and we will be hearing from Sting in just a few moments. Still in this segment, the World Tag Team Champions.
There's just like a random grandpa at ringside that's so excited. He's dressed up in his only suit, looking sickly.
has risen from referee to managing the world champions. Right
There we go. Look at that sweet, sweet as candy.
Armstrong floats over, and Armstrong has won it.
Russian Lake sweet.
Whether he needs a haircut or not, he's the winner today. Good move here. Good quickness.
It sure
The
is.
Candyman
I do
kicking
have
your
to say that
can.
about him.
Nice move there by Brad
And he
Armstrong
mixed
and
that
fans.
with love.
Let's hear these comments from the Black Scorpion.
Brad
and Jim
Armstrong,
Williams.
yeah,
Thumbs
Russian
up
Lake
stinger.
sweep finisher.
Sting, I see you're losing control. Where's your confidence?
Sting, you smell great.
You've always been the master of your
Yeah, I think that is the gimmick. He's the Candyman because he's a sweet wrestler.
I saw your face.
I saw your face, and now I am a believer.
See that you're losing
Wake up, Sleepy Jean.
maybe even losing your mind.
Oh, what can it mean to a daydream believer and a homecoming queen?
Halloween Havoc. But don't forget, before Halloween Havoc, you have to meet me again. You beat me, I'll turn
Meet me
But remember,
out by the dumpster.
once your belt,
The black
be
monkey.
satisfied until
Davy Jones. That episode of Boy Meets
I
World
got people walking up
rips
to me
off the
saying,
hoodie.
"Sting, you're
Wow,
dealing with a
Reg,
double-edged
Reginald
sword. This is called
Fairfield.
double jeopardy. You got Black Scorpion over here. You got Sid Vicious over here. You got others coming from behind. Everybody
Alex
wants a
Trebek
shot
on
at
the TV,
world
double
title.
jeopardy.
Well, let's just do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following tag
There we go. Got some Doom. Got the camera operator back with the red sweatpants.
the Godfather of Soul, Mr. Theodore Armstrong, the current World Tag Team Champion.
What a good
Mr.
team.
Mr. Ron Simmons. This is a team of
I did that meme thing on Twitter last week in the name me a wrestler, I'll give you an opinion on them. Somebody asked me about Doom and I was happy. Doom does not get their due.
265 pounds, Dave Johnson.
They really were the glue that held this division together.
23 pounds, Lou Perez.
Lou Perez, the guy that you booked when you couldn't get Al Perez.
Dave Johnson to meet the World Tag Team Champions Doom.
Yeah, not in sweats like they're galoobs. I love that story that they didn't give enough of a shit to put on their ring gear for the reference pictures for their action figures. So their action figures are in sweatpants and sneakers. Yeah, Doom lost the belts to the Freebirds. The Freebirds won the belts a week before they lost them to the Steiners because WCW TV was all sorts of messed up. Yes, Ches, the Galoob action figures for Ron and Butch. If you look at them, it's sweatpants and like Reebok sneakers. It's not in ring gear.
Lou Perez, outstanding competitor, high crossbody press.
Lou Perez, outstanding competitor, much cheaper than Al.
Perez, very impressive, very quick thus far. Makes a quick tag to Dave Johnson. I'll tell you something, Doom.
LJH, put a link in the chat if you want to check those out. They are so funny. The Ron Simmons is like one of the more useless action figures because he's doing the bicep pose, and for some reason he's got his arm up to his chest like this, so you just can't do anything with it.
And I really like the four horsemen.
I'm sure you like virtually everything they stand for, right? Win at any cost.
That's right. And
Dave Johnson has quite the singlet here. I don't think Lou and Al were related. They might have been, but I think Lou Perez.
Reed and Simmons say they are the best
They
tag team in the
they
world.
just called him Lou Perez because he looked enough like Al that he could just be Al Perez when Al would flake out on a territory.
Me and that stupid Paulie, and if he loses, I get the danger zone.
Yeah, G.I. Joes were the work rate toys.
Oh, we could have a pending feud there. Missy Hyde and Paul Lee. I think I'd pay to see that one.
Oh,
I'd
shoot.
pay to see Doom
Right
and
in the
the
ear.
One-on-one.
That was
It's
lovely.
going to be an awesome confrontation. Fans next here on TBS. The Godfather of Souls talks to Paul Lee in the Danger Zone.
I love how every heel who didn't wrestle had an interview segment in this era.
What are you going to do tonight?
What are you going to do tonight? I'm going to sit and watch 35-year-old wrestling with all you. That's what I'm going to do.
That's good, too. Wait a minute. How about that TV show?
Yeah, Ron would do one-handed push-ups when he pinned enhancement.
I know. I'll pick up a video. Which one? I don't know. I've got it.
I have seen that clip from the Ron Simmons shoot.
So, what are you going to do tonight?
Where the interviewer's like, so the Steiners ever rib you guys? Ron's like, you fucking kidding me?
Entertainment Weekly.
Rib me?
It's new from the publishers of Time, People, and Sports Illustrated.
Oh.
And it's the only magazine that covers it all. Movies, videos.
Those computers in the back play Fortnite.
Books, and even kids' entertainment. The only magazine that cuts through the confusion of today's entertainment choices.
The confusion of today's entertainment. There were like 12 channels.
Start with 4 free issues. That's a whole month's worth of great entertainment free.
By the way, shout out to my SSRI gang. I'm going to take my meds.
All the week's hottest entertainment
so I can go to sleep once the stream
ends.
ends.
The country's most discriminating critics. So
most discriminating? It just makes them sound racist.
Every day of the week.
Hey, this is exactly what I need.
That's 4 free issues of the one magazine that shows you how to get the most out of your free time. And that will save you time. And
I love that pose that musicians used to do all the time and do all the time. Pictures.
Call now to become a charter subscriber. Then you'll get 30 more issues. Build in.
Hell yeah, Jonathan. Indeed, normalize mental health care.
That's almost 50% off the cover price.
Also,
if you don't like it, just cancel.
Normalize
4 free issues are yours to
shitty
keep.
magazines.
Hey, I know what we should do tonight.
Call now for 4 free issues.
I know what we should do tonight based on this magazine that was printed 6 weeks
When
ago.
will the day come when we change the thick, rich taste of Heinz ketchup? You're looking
What
at
a
it.
wild
The best
idea
things in life never change.
for a Heinz ketchup commercial. Like, you know that phrase, when hell freezes over? What if we actually show Satan?
Starburst with real
Again,
fruit.
another candy commercial where it kind of makes it look like if you eat the candy, it's like doing drugs.
No problem. No problem.
Yeah, imagine calling your wife from work. Hey, hey hon, we're gonna watch Dick Tracy tonight.
Stain resistant with Bounce with Stain Guard, the only fabric softener that helps keep many stains from setting. So even this greasy food stain washes right out. Bounce with Stain Guard. Stop
Bounce.
stains. No
Like
problem.
baby faces, like Mike Rotunda earlier. Tim Horner.
Today, right here on the main event, right here on the Danger Zone.
At least Paulie got like a cool graphic for his green screen. Cornette just got the generic one.
The summit meeting fell apart, and the two superpowers of professional wrestling.
Is he recording in a swimming pool?
But all it was a bunch of talk, and talk is cheap. But you see, now it's gone beyond talk. Now it's gotten physical. See what happens when Doom and the Horsemen stop talking in the ring.
Gotta give him credit, even though
Yeah, Stephen J. Neptune Man with a look over at what WWE was doing at the time. We're in the midst of the Ultimate Warrior's title reign flopping. And to make up for it at the house shows, he was having to do 6-mans with the LOD against Demolition. Yes, that's Lance Russell calling the action. Always weird.
Goes for Flair, who entered the ring. Scoop, slam, down goes Anderson. Repeats it on
Tom Zink, again, we'll be seeing him Sunday and off the grid with a much more powerful mullet. DDT. I love Lance Russell, but like him, like what he's having to do, like more low energy, like studio voiceovers like this, it sounds like he's making fun of the wrestling. A DDT on the floor. That'll really do it to him. Exactly, Cecil. He would have killed him. Imagine if they lifted up that mat. Butch Reed comes flying in.
You know, there's nothing I like more than violence.
And there's going to be a lot of it when Doom and the Horsemen clash. You know, not even the dudes with attitudes had enough guts to walk into
that
the ring
shirt
and
is
take it to the
so
Horsemen like
freaking
you
dope.
and Doom did. You know, I'm thinking about this, Teddy, and man, I tell you what, you got more guts than I do because I would never
That's a sweet
ever
Doom
mess with the
shirt.
Horsemen the way you guys did.
Let me say something to you right now, Paulie Dangerously. That's the difference between me and you. I take chances, okay? Now let me tell you the reason why the Soul Brothers Doom and the Godfather went to the ring on the Horseman Ric Flair and Arn Anderson. Because when a man
I wish all interviewers would like side hug
then it's time
their
for Doom to take
subjects.
action. And that's what the Horsemen
Like imagine
did.
if like
They overloaded, brother.
tomorrow
And
on
anytime
Dynamite,
you
like
do
Alex
that,
Marvez
then
just
we
like
don't ask you
grabs
to
Wheeler
shut up. We ask you to
Yuta.
put
Hey
up.
buddy.
So Ric Flair
What's
and
up?
Arn Anderson, it's time you shut up and it's time you put up.
Teddy, you know, I'm just thinking about this, and I'm agreeing with everything that you're saying, but it's not just Ric Flair and Arn Anderson. There's Sid Vicious and Barry Windham, too. There's 4 of them. There's only 2 of you.
4 of them.
4 of
does not
them.
make a tag team.
Like there's looks like there's 4 horsemen.
And one thing I might let Ric Flair and Arn Anderson know that I'm
Paul's
always
look based on
at
RoboCop.
ringside.
No, it's based
And
on
it took a
Michael
lot of
Keaton.
guts and a lot of my time and a lot of my skills and a lot of my brains to
Like,
gain the World Tag Team Championship.
Paul based
And
a
I don't
lot of
intend
shit
on
on
losing them.
Michael
I'm gonna keep them until we
Michael
get ready
Keaton
to
in the
retire.
mid '80s. Alan Iron Eagle, aka our pal, the Tampa Pipeline Joe Gomez.
To this sneaker phone from Sports Illustrated. Now,
Sneaker
we're not
phones.
going to show it to them. We're going to let them
Tony
discover for
Atlas still
themselves.
uses
Come on.
those.
Go ahead, you pick it up. Is anybody there?
Hello?
The sneaker's ringing.
Yeah, Paul watched movies unlike
They all
wrestlers.
ring? This is a phone.
Tony, get a load of this. Come here, look at this.
I can't believe it.
You like that?
Yeah.
A sneaker phone, that's great.
I was trying to think of the name of that movie, but yes, The Squeeze. If you watch that, Michael Keaton. Like it's Paul Lee.
Oh, honey? Honey?
Like I have friends who are wrestlers. I've told them, hey, just go watch a movie.
Just like a regular phone.
You could steal everything from it, and nobody in the industry will know because none of your coworkers watch anything but wrestling.
This is a sneaker phone? It's great.
Yes, wrestlers only watched The Road Warrior back then, and that's because it was the only movie at Blockbuster. That, oh, this might be a wrestling thing.
Low monthly installments of only $14.97. That's over 45% off the cover price. So call the toll-free number on the screen now. Of course, the subscription includes the NFL and NWA previews, the year-end double issue, the revealing 1991 swimsuit issue, and the
Now, Orange Cassidy is based off of Paul Rudd's character in Wet Hot American Summer.
Which means it's free. It's free. Free. You're pulling my leg. I wouldn't pull your leg. Great.
You heard it here first. Everybody loves the sneaker phone from Sports Illustrated.
This was such a big
Call now
deal.
to subscribe to Sports Illustrated at over 45% off the cover price and get the sneaker phone free.
A wrestler like watches The Crows. Oh, it's a great gimmick, and then he shows up to the show. Everyone's like,
The battle of wizards and warriors continues with iron swords. Malkiel will take on the shape of the
it's nice as Blue Star. Orange Cassidy's gimmick is based off of Paul Rudd in Wet Hot American Summer. He's admitted it. And Paul Rudd was notified of it in an interview a couple years ago.
Power for your NES. 9 incredible missions. 2
Yeah, that was always Scott Hall's story, was that he just read off the plot to Scarface for the Razor Ramon pitch, and
2 weeks ago,
Vince had no
Vinny
idea.
Testaverde led the Buccaneers past the Lions without a scratch. Now it's time for Barry Sanders to turn things around. Sanders versus
Kinda like,
Testaverde. Lions versus Bucks, the rematch. Sunday night.
The only time he went to the movie theater in like 2005 or 2006 was when he went to go see Pirates of the Caribbean. Alan Iron Eagle, old Joe Gomez.
California, 249 pounds, scrap iron, Bill Ford.
Scrap Iron Bill Ford rules.
Everyone at TBS, Jim Ross and Missy High.
He's like the one weirdo enhancement guy who just hung
A few
around.
days ago, we were there with Sting, Flying Brian, Z-Man, and Candyman Brad Armstrong taping the Family Feud begins.
Yeah, I have heard that Freddie Prinze Jr. story. Kind of like how Vince, when the New Day was first together, and they wanted to do funny stuff, Vince was like, "Oh yeah, like Flip Wilson."
We won a lot of money for charity.
Which charity?
Played for the Starlight Foundation of Atlanta, the Make-A-Wish Foundation for seriously ill children, and we had a lot of fun. And those Family Feuds, those 5 shows we taped, will begin airing
That's
tomorrow.
Scrap Iron Bill Ford.
Collar and elbow tie-up with
It just looks like a guy who got off work at a factory,
We've seen him 2 or 3 times here on our broadcast.
and they were like, "Hey, want some boots?"
I think he's got to get a lot tougher to make it in the NWA.
That would be awful for the wrestler that's wrestling if Brad Armstrong doing the had candy stuck to his tights. It'd be so sticky.
We'll see how he matures in the sport. In there with a veteran, Scrap Iron Bill Ford. I'll tell you something from what Teddy Long said with Paul
Yeah, this looks like a dad and a son in a fight.
They're ready to battle with anybody.
Like Bill Ford straight up looks like Alan Iron Eagle's dad.
In the running of the gauntlet, remember on Friday night, Scott Steiner beat Beautiful Bobby, the Midnight Express. He upset the legendary Nature Boy Ric Flair last night on World Championship Wrestling.
Like Dad found out that Alan Iron Eagle was smoking weed
Anderson of the Horsemen.
after his part-time job in school, and he's pissed.
You know, mister, we got a
Oh, the old point to the brain is it's a classic. It always gets over. Because wrestling fans will always be like, "No, you're not smart. You're a bad guy."
Look for another great crowd there. Box office will be open all tomorrow afternoon, and matches start tomorrow night.
I love how Bill Ford, he got tights, he got boots, but he insists on wearing the tank
A
top.
few moments about the fans jam. It's going to be a big thing on Hotline on Friday night, October 5th.
Okay, that was almost cool. Like, if he would have been able to lock in the inverted figure 4, that would have been sweet.
Not on a Friday night, but you know, I might call y'all from my limousine and ask some questions that I want answered that you won't answer me here on.
Look at Bill Ford. Look at
I
that.
hope you do. That's on Friday night, October the 5th.
And he held down the wrist,
Bill Ford drops the elbow
the leverage on the pin. Look at Bill Ford.
Fans, we are getting really pumped about Halloween Havoc.
We are getting really pumped. I'm getting real pumped about Bill Ford going to the top rope. He falls off.
I hope so. Planning on it.
Dad, get off the roof.
Alan Iron Eagle.
Up there we go. He's going to actually do his hold now.
Top rope. There's the Indian Deathlock. Have not seen that move used in a long time.
I love that clip from Picture in Picture from that AEW TV show last year where Shivani's like, "I don't think we're allowed to call it that anymore."
Hi, this is Lance Russell. To remind
Hi, Lance
all you
Russell.
fans here on the NWA main event about America's greatest wrestling party line, the Great American Fans Jam, coming to
Hell
the
yeah.
900 number on Friday, October the 5th,
Talk
starting
to
at 7
Sting,
p.m. Eastern
Luger,
time.
and ex-champions. Come talk to the guys that used to hold the belts. We don't know their names. They're fucking losers. Did Scott Steiner survive an attack by the Enforcer? Arn Anderson is a bear.
I'm gonna break him in half.
If you unmask the mystery wrestler, you can enter the Halloween Havoc 90 sweepstakes.
Why is that Ric Flair doing the voiceover? All right, LJH, take her easy. See you soon.
Or one of 25 awesome prizes like a basic Nintendo system with World Championship
Basic
Wrestling game
Nintendo.
cartridge.
Fuck you. That's a great prize.
Artificial Halloween Havoc treat bags filled with goodies. How about a few clues?
Get you an official WCW
From
flashlight.
Venice Beach, California, and his favorite hold is the Scorpion Deathlock. You figured out. Got it? Now print your name, age, address, phone number, and the identity of the mystery wrestler on a 3x5 piece of paper and mail it to Trip or Treat.
Trip or
Sweepstakes.
Treat.
Box 3651, Syosset, New York, 11775-3651. Halloween
Getting
Havoc
real specific
90.
with
If you don't
the
win the
zip
trip, you can
code.
still see it
The guy in the
live
blue
on
lipstick, that's
pay-per-view
Michael
on
Hayes
October 27th.
from his like death metal glam rock era.
There's nothing wrong with studying. You just gotta know how to pick the subject. If it's cool, then it's
Gigantic hot rods. Is that an innuendo? Oh yeah, the next year they did the rap contest. That's right, Midnight Valor. some like housewife from like Minnesota or something wrote PN News' rap for the night. Fantastic. Big on chocolate. It's coming. God, this commercial rules. I love it. Anything elegante saved in Spanish.
The monsters of professional wrestling.
It's coming.
Halloween Havoc 90.
I love how they're threatening people with the pay-per-view they want them to watch.
On the edge of insanity. Call your cable operator for availability. If you dare.
I wish there was the Peacock WWE Network version of Halloween Havoc was complete. Like I'm pretty sure they
Well, I'm not changing so
they still
far.
only have the
Looks at working
2-hour home
you.
video
Oh,
version.
yeah?
And tomorrow the difference can show. All that protein for muscle and calcium for bones.
But I'm
God, this commercial's so creepy.
Hey, if the sight of yourself at 18 doesn't convince you, Tom, listen to your senior year girlfirlriend.
Hi, Tom.
Yeah, she's 18. She's an adult legally.
does a body good.
Telling this little kid, "Hey, I want to fuck you." 10 years. Here we go. The end of the gauntlet. One of my all-time favorite title belts, right there. Arn Anderson having enough hair to slick back. Always fun, especially since it's way lighter than the hair on the back of his head.
His opponent from Detroit, Michigan at 269 pounds.
Arn Anderson was only 14 years old. He was the second guy, not the guy that at the end of the milk commercial, but the second guy in the mirror.
One half the United States Tag Team Champions with his brother Rick.
Like if Arn Anderson did the milk commercial, it would just be him at every age, looking like that, including the kid in the mirror looking at the mirror.
I think the big question here is,
like it'd be like, oh, this doesn't matter. Drink whatever you want, Arn.
48 hours taken out of Scott Steiner. Will he have enough left to beat Arn Anderson in this?
What a risk wearing white trunks.
Well, I don't think he can do it. I don't know how he got past Nature Boy Ric Flair in the first place, Jim.
Like you have to be a perfect wiper to dare try to wear white trunks.
Adrenaline, I'm sure, is pumping.
Like not even 99%.
Because he is the enforcer. He is one of the
100%.
Arn Anderson,
Perfect
a master of the
wiper.
DDT, the spine buster. He's also the world television champion, and just a phenomenal athlete, one of the finest technical athletes in the sport. Should be a great matchup here, fans. Don't forget this Friday.
Yeah,
night,
I
Power Hour,
don't.
beautiful Bobby.
My dad was a tidy whitey guy, and like his laundry would always be laying out, and it was so gross. Arn's got his muffler, and that's a good point. See, stick that thing right up in there.
See that JW Storm?
JW Storm will be there, and we're going to see this other gentleman.
Oh, the Juicer?
The Juicer and JW Storm to debut Saturday. Of course, we'll be back with you here next Sunday.
Imagine like hearing that out of context. The Juicer's going to debut. Fucking Jack LaLanne is going to wrestle.
It might be my danger zone by next week, Jim.
Versus Wizards. Yeah, younger Arn should have been like, hey, stay away from scissors, bud.
Scotty Steiner, a little frustrated.
Got these little nips hanging out of that singlet there.
Through Arn Anderson, that the hair was pulled. Breaking the rules, that's not the case. Scott Steiner just got a magnificent physique.
Well, yeah, he might have
It's a shame that Chikara made everybody scared of time travel angles. We should have more.
I'm not so sure his brain is small. Again, Arn Anderson.
I mean, mystery wrestling, which you can check Cecil out at, recently did some time travel. If you have not seen it, go check out Cecil's literal death match. It's London Lightning on the last Mystery Wrestling show. It's up on the Mystery Wrestling Patreon. And I mean, I hate to give away a spoiler, but Cecil's here right now, so to tell you what happened in the literal death match, but there were some twists and turns.
Saturday night, October the 27th.
You better call your local cable companies very fast.
It's going to be a great, great program, I'll tell you that. Great night of excitement.
And call your caterers, and call the babysitters.
Oh, your caterers?
Just have a big party.
drop.
Oh, here we go. Tailbone.
By Scott Steiner on Arn Anderson.
Yeah, there were a lot of crazy things in that literal death match.
Friday night on the Power Hour and won it. He upset Ric Flair
There's the
last
bag,
night on World
the
Championship
counter
Wrestling
to the bag over the head.
If Scott Steiner wins, he wins $15,000. If Arn Anderson wins
The
this
hair
match,
removal death match, that'd be sweet. Handlebar Orion. There should be 2 hairy guys booked for a death match where the ropes are slicked up with hair removal cream and all the weapons have fly traps. Ouch.
Doesn't need the money. Arn Anderson doesn't need the money. He's a poor horseman.
that'd be a nice casual lunch for you in New York or somewhere. $5 grand.
Yeah, I could also take the Concorde over to Paris and have dinner too.
Oh, Ryan, again, you said that before. I'm so sorry. Oh, Ryan, I need to write that down. Ryan.
Is quick here. Again, the sleeper hold. Scott Steiner with a new weapon, perhaps a sleeper, but Arn Anderson counters into a sleeper of his own.
Oh.
Good move by Scott Steiner, and Arn Anderson in trouble. And he's going for the figure 4, Missy. That's Ric Flair's hold.
That's right.
I wouldn't say before Roid Rage.
I would get very upset.
Scott Steiner, I would maybe say
defeated last night, but not without the help of Rick Steiner.
less
I have to admit,
Roid
Rick Steiner was
Rage.
deeply involved in his brothers defeating Ric Flair last night.
That's right. It takes both of them.
I love how like half the guys in every promotion Ric Flair worked were like, yeah, we'll do a figure 4 too.
Arn Anderson being punished with a figure 4, finally reaches to the ropes. This has got to be a surprise move for Arn Anderson to have applied to him. Anderson now fights back. Boy, that left hand of his.
Still human Scott Steiner. Okay.
Rough and tough guy. I can't believe he's got to use.
Love Arn selling that leg. So good.
Arn Anderson taking over.
That guy in the yellow is so worked up. Yellow shirt, Pepsi hat. He had a Pepsi trucker hat. I would love one of those.
And win the $15,000. He can also lose it in any of those.
Why is Nick Patrick outside the ring counting them out?
Probably buy a bunch of baseball cards.
God, he's horrible. Also, Scott Steiner apparently going commando under that singlet.
I don't know. I could probably go shopping.
Well, you need to take me along. I can help you out in the wardrobe situation.
Yeah, 15 grand wouldn't last long, I'm afraid. Knee to the lower back by Arn Anderson on Scott Steiner. Now Scott Steiner.
I think,
I'm sure is feeling the residual effect.
if I remember correctly, because Petey Williams has told the story of it, I think Petey said he did the promo like word for word a couple of different takes. So he might have like written it ahead of time. Okay, I love that. That's so clever. Dude, Arn was doing the come in the hard way, and Scott's just like, nope. I'm just not gonna touch the rope, you idiot. That was so smart. What a spot. I love that.
That's not legal, Jim. He's not supposed to do that on the outside of the ring.
He's fighting fire with fire. Anderson
Yeah, it's very lewd what's going on with Scott Steiner's singlet in the front.
Now Scott Steiner has got that adrenaline flowing again. He's very confident.
Yeah, the floor backbreaker is very funny because it's like, my knee or the concrete? Which will hurt more? My knee.
That has to hurt, Arn Anderson. Please get up, Arn.
God, yeah, if he's not wearing underwear with that singlet, he's gonna poke Arn's eye out with the Frankensteiner.
Great officiating there by Nick Patrick.
Bullshit.
Nick Patrick might be a good referee, but I believe Teddy Long was a better referee.
I do too, Missy.
Teddy Long wasn't very honest.
But he was a great referee.
Perhaps in your eyes.
Yeah, Scott just kind of rubbing his balls all up and down Arn with that pen. Oh, DDT.
By Arn Anderson out of nowhere.
Yeah, Flair and Arn both in their matches with Scott that we've seen were just yelling out spots.
I think you could have pinned him right here. But now Arn Anderson going to punish even more. Reversal by Scotty Steiner.
Uh-oh.
You son of...
There's the elevation by Scott Steiner.
All right.
Arn Anderson's got him down. Well, he's got the rope.
got the rope. Ah! He just beat him. All right, Arn Anderson just won.
Love it.
This cannot be.
Oh, he put his
He
hands
pulled the
there.
ropes, Missy. It was obvious. Randy Anderson in there.
I didn't see
Scott's like,
it.
fuck you, I'm a babyface. I'm gonna beat your ass.
Was watching this. The match is restarted.
No, Scott Steiner.
Wait, what?
Sore loser.
The match has been
Nick Patrick is the worst referee.
There's a power slam.
And yeah, Cecil said there's no way that could have helped him. What is happening?
The referee out of the ring. There's a disqualification. Scott Steiner will win it by disqualification. The winner of the match, Scott Steiner.
That was so. Flair and Arn are just idiots who cost themselves $5,000 each.
Scott Steiner's won the $15,000 and will be back.
Like that was a good finish, and then they made it bad. What a mess. But that was a fun match while it was. More on the main event. Well, moron on the main event, Nick Patrick.
They'd have a whale of a time on National Geographic.
There's like TBS promoted the shit out of those National Geographic Explorer shows. Sid's Traps. Holy fuck.
Destruction. A howling good time with the monsters of professional wrestling.
It's coming.
Halloween Havoc 90. Terror rules the ring.
Wow, wow, wow. One of the better generic stock songs. A couple different wrestlers used it for entrance music.
About the pimples, man. They don't fit with our image.
I love how this commercial was like, you know what kids liked? Bill and Ted. Jet Ski, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate you bringing the soda and the crackers. All right, Matt, take her easy. We'll see you. We'll see you next time. Have a good one. Got just a couple more minutes here. I thought he was putting an egg in his Game Boy. You know, all those kids, as I hit my microphone, all those kids who gather around and cook while they play on their Game Boys. What a logo. Ugh.
Her cough's getting worse. I've got something.
I'm calling a doctor.
Faster than you can call your pediatrician, Pediatric Formula 44 starts to work. So fast, so effective, its protective coating starts to work the instant your child swallows. No wonder more and more pediatricians are recommending it.
He said to give her
Pediatric Formula 44. When you can't get fast.
That's such an old school thing, calling a doctor in the middle of the night.
Kuwait had been prevented. New evidence suggests the CIA knew of Saddam's plan and the State Department neglected to act. Iraq, warnings ignored. A CNN special assignment went
The Diamond Tap rules.
on the world today.
The grape flavor.
Welcome back, everyone, to TBS. Jim Ross and Missy Hyatt back with you. Don't forget, at Halloween Havoc, it'll be Sid Vicious taking on Sting for the heavyweight championship of the world.
Well, I know all the little stingers aren't going to want to hear this, but I'm sure Sid Vicious is going to beat the Stinger at Halloween Havoc.
Fans, he really inserted himself in Sting's business wholeheartedly. That happened at the Clash of
Wholeheartedly?
Champions. Let's go back now to the videotape and see just exactly how Sid Vicious got the attention of the world and of the
Jim,
world heavyweight
buddy.
champion at the Clash of Champions.
Yeah, Orion. Missy and Jim, what a
Right now,
couple.
I'm thinking nothing
Years
but
later.
Black Scorpion until I find out who he is.
Thanks, Sting.
I said I'm talking to you, Sting.
Hey,
TOL Dog, thank you so much for the follow.
Sid Vicious is attacking.
As we watch Sid in his sweet-ass dress clothes.
As they go out of the ring, Sid Vicious from behind.
Is he wearing tap shoes?
Hitting in now with a championship belt.
Sit up there.
Jim Ross, I want you people out there to know something. I'm gonna be the next world champion, cause Sid Vicious rules the world.
Damn straight.
Little man, I will not be denied on Halloween Havoc. Why?
Just little men in general. Not talking about any specific little man.
Every morning, a winner.
I love the green screen image of just the horses behind him.
Are you going to tell him he's
Like,
not
not,
going to
not
be the
even
world
saying
heavyweight
4
champion?
horsemen.
No way
Just
am I
this
gonna
guy's
tell him that.
really into
Sting's
horses.
not going to be able to tell him either.
Fans, that match has been signed for October 27th on pay-per-view television. Halloween Havoc, Sid Vicious and Sting one-on-one for the heavyweight championship of the world. And speaking of Sting, don't forget tonight is Sting wristwatch night in the Omni. Bell time
don't
is
forget
7:30.
You have my picture on it, Jim.
Well, you need to talk to the promoter. Maybe talk to Chip Burnham. He can work something out with you. Fans, we'll see you Friday night on the Power Hour
commentators
here on
love
TBS.
bringing up the local promoters. Super Hair 313. All right. Thank you all. Wow, that's loud. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me for the last 2 hours and 15-ish minutes tonight here for WCW Deep Cuts Live. It's been a blast going back to the year 1990 with all of you. Appreciate it. Remember, I'm back Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern for Off the Grid. Gonna watch some more AWF British Rounds weirdness from 1996. But as always, as I like to end these streams with a plea, with an ask. Even if you don't make it here next Tuesday, let's just make it the next Tuesday. That's all I'm asking. 7 days. I know life's hard. I trust me. I feel it. Feel it every day. I know things are hard, but we can do it. 7 days. That's all I'm asking. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me tonight. WCW Deep Cuts Live. My name's Tom. Tickle the name. Go to bed. Good night.